Saturday afternoon baseball at Safeco Field. This crowd filing in. Turns out to be a very nice late afternoon for some hardball. And it's the middle game of a three-game series between the Texas Rangers and the Seattle Mariners. It's Fan Appreciation Day here at the ballpark, and we welcome you to Mariners baseball at Safeco Field. Ken Wilson along with Mike Blowers. The roof is off. The sun is out with a few clouds. We're looking forward to a dandy baseball game. And, Mike, we really have seen two great baseball games. The Mariners have won the last two, starting on Wednesday night against the New York Yankees, a 12-inning victory.
Well, and I think what we're seeing is what Eric Wedge has been talking about the entire season, fighting to the end, hanging in there tough, playing a lot of close games. And Luis Rodriguez, it's a walk-off home run for Rodriguez in the 12th inning to give the Mariners the win. And they had to fight hard for that victory against the Yankees. It's another team. The Yankees trying to get into the postseason, and the Mariners spoiling that for them, at least for another night, as Rodriguez is mobbed at home plate.
Then an off day on Thursday, and last night the heavy-hitting Rangers come to town, and they run into the rookie Blake Bevan.
The former Ranger product, Blake Bevan, came out, was able to locate his fastball, but the most impressive thing was his curveball. Went to his off-speed pitches. The Rangers, they like to be aggressive with the fastball. We know that. It's a great offensive club. And he just took a lot off of a lot of pitches and was helped out by his defense. A 6-4-3 double play started by Brendan Ryan, but an outstanding performance by Bevan, giving up just 4 and shutting the Rangers out over the course of 8 innings.
Now the question becomes, can the Mariners make it 3 straight victories? And why not? It'd be especially nice on Fan Appreciation Day. And we're going to get a look at Anthony Vasquez, coming off a pretty good start in his last outing. And he'll be opposed by the Rangers' veteran right-hander, Colby Lewis.
And for Anthony Vasquez, again, he is not overpowering. We know that. His fastball will be around 86 miles an hour, 87. Use his changeup effectively. The key for him, he has to be down in the zone. Again, the Rangers, they like to hit home runs, like to get the ball in the air. He can offset that by pitching inside and using the great changeup, but he's going to have to command his fastball, and he'll have to command it early in counts today.
Well, we'll see what Vasquez can do. The Mariners' pitching has been exceptional all season. It's been terrific of late, and we'll see what they can do on Fan Appreciation Day. We're happy you're with us here at the ballpark. Should be exciting. The Rangers and the Mariners coming right up.
Better ideas, better banking by CenturyLink. Quest is now CenturyLink. Visit CenturyLink.com to learn more. And by the Emerald Queen Casino, inviting you to get your groove on with the Commodores October 22nd. For tickets, go to EmeraldQueen.com. Hi, everybody. Angie Mentink here. We are just about set for first pitch in Game 2 of this series. Now, the M's know it. The Rangers feel it. That Seattle could have a huge impact on who ends up winning the West. Texas Rangers have 11 games to go. Nearly half of them, 5 are against the Seattle Mariners. Texas up 3.5 games on the Angels. Those two teams will face each other for their final 3 contests of the season. And by the way, LA 4 games back of Boston in the wild card. Anthony Vasquez has made his way out to the mound. Ichiro will be leading off later in this inning, bottom half of the inning. Ichiro just 1 hit away from tying Mickey Mantle on the all-time list. Come back.
There's the first pitch of the action, and the first pitch to Ian Kinsler is a strike called from Anthony Vasquez, who likes to work quickly, and here's one fouled out of play, and just like that, it's 0-2. Kinsler hitting .249. He's a premier second baseman in this league and hits for power, especially for a leadoff man. He has 8 home runs already in September, and he pops one up. Giving chase is Mike Karp. He's got some room, and he makes a nice catch. And just like that, the game is underway. Kinsler is gone. Let's take a look at the Rangers batting order.
For manager Ron Washington and the Rangers, just saw Kinsler pop out. Then it's Andrus. Hamilton has been a hot hitter as of late. He will hit third. Young, Beltre, Napoli in the lineup. Did not play yesterday. Back in the lineup today, hitting 6th. Nelson Cruz, the DH. He will hit 7th, and it's Murphy and Gentry, the center fielder, will hit 9th. Numbers for Vasquez. ERA coming down. His last couple of outings have been better for him after getting roughed up in his first 2.
Elvis Andrus hitting .278, taking a strike. Young shortstop. He's a good one in his 3rd season in the big leagues. The outfield plays him to left, and he looks at the fastball high and away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
A little bit surprised, Ken, when I was looking at the numbers and seeing Andrus. I always thought he was going to be a solid defender. 25 errors on the year for him, and talking to some people at the Rangers, he said he made a lot of those errors earlier in the season. I don't think he's made one over the last 3 weeks, but earlier when we saw him, he was making some mistakes, young mistakes, throwing the ball away. I think he's going to be a good one for a long time in this league, though.
He pops it up out into right field, medium depth, Ichiro, and there are 2 outs. Let's check that defense that Eric Wedge has out there today.
In left field, it'll be Trayvon Robinson. Michael Saunders will play center field. Ichiro is out in right. Kyle Seager at third. Ryan and Eckley up the middle. Mike Karp getting the call at first base today. And Josh Bard will do the catching. Miguel Olivo getting a day off.
Here is Josh Hamilton, and he clubs the first one in the hole. Almost impossible play. Ryan's throw is not in time. And first pitch swinging, Josh Hamilton, who was 0 for 4 last night, has himself an infield single.
Brendan Ryan playing up the middle. We've seen him make this play all summer long. Hamilton, for a big man, runs well and is able to beat it out for an infield hit. But Brendan Ryan will always try to get a throw off one way or the other just in case. It's typically an accurate throw like that one was.
Yeah, he's been absolutely terrific at shortstop. Here's Michael Young hitting cleanup. Another big offensive threat, and he takes strike 1. Young played third base last night for Ron Washington's club. playing first base this afternoon. .333 his average, and he came into the season as a .300 lifetime hitter. He's had himself quite a career as he fouls it back, and it's 0-2. 11 home runs, 101 RBIs. He's at 197 hits, Mike. He's second in the league, and coming up to still another season of 200 hits. He's already had 5.
And to think this winter and going into spring training, there was a lot of talk about the Rangers moving Michael Young. I never understood that, just because, as you mentioned, he played third last night. He's playing first today. He can play shortstop and second base. And the one thing that he's always done is hit. Maybe under the radar, wouldn't you say? I mean, he's an all-star, perennial all-star, but I don't think he gets nearly the recognition that he deserves, because he can do that.
Goes the opposite way in a little rally for the Rangers here with 2 outs in the first inning. Yeah, Michael Young is, you look at his numbers in his career, he's unsung to say the least.
And this is how you pile up hits. Use the entire field. Michael Young, he can keep his hands inside of the ball and hit the ball the other way. That's why pitchers, I think, that don't have the real good fastball are going to have a tough time getting him out.
Now the batter will be the ex-Mariner, Adrian Beltre. Was the DH last night. He's been battling a hamstring injury and playing defense this afternoon. He's the starting third baseman. So 2 on, 2 outs, first inning, and there's a strike on the inside corner. Beltre, 288, 25 homers, 91 RBIs. Pretty standard year for the veteran, who had a 19-game hitting streak stopped last night. They play him deep and to pull, and it's 1-1.
And since he's worked his way back into the lineup, coming back from the hamstring injury, 5 home runs in the last 10 games. So he was able to pick things up where he left off before going on the DL.
Here's the pitch, and it's out of play, 1-2. The skipper of the Rangers, Ron Washington, continually getting questioned about Beltre playing with that hamstring, so he doesn't run hard all the time, if you will. And Ron Washington says, look, however he runs is fine. It's good. Don't worry about it. There's no controversy here. I'm happy. I'm happy. I like what he's doing. Swing and a miss. The off-speed pitch, and that'll do it. After half an inning at Safeco Field, the Rangers nothing, and the Mariners coming up. To come up in the bottom of the first inning against Colby Lewis, and here's their lineup.
For manager Eric Wedge, leading things off, it will be Ichiro. Kyle Seager moves back into hitting second. It looks like Brendan Ryan and Kyle Seager are going to share the duties hitting second in the lineup. Then it's Zachary Carp. Adam Kennedy getting a start today hitting fifth. He will be the DH. Bard, Ryan Robinson, and Michael Saunders inserted into the lineup late. Casper Wells originally slated to hit ninth and play center, but it'll be Saunders. And the numbers for Colby Lewis: .429 ERA, 182 innings for him. 150 strikeouts. The big number, 33 home runs. He's given up 33 home runs this year.
Boy, that's hard to believe. That's a ton of home runs, isn't it?
Even in their ballpark.
Yeah. Here's Ichiro. First pitch socked into right field. So Ichiro with base hit number 2,415 in the big leagues. And that ties him with the former Yankee great Mickey Mantle, 111th all time.
And another hit to the itchy meter out in right field. Solid base hit. Ichiro typically aggressive on the first pitch of most of the games. This time he gets a base hit in the hole through the right side.
And he's had some hits in this homestand. This is game 10 of the stand. And for Ichiro, that's 10 hits. The third baseman Beltre on the grass, not knowing what Seager's going to do, and he's swinging and fouls it away. One strike on the rookie, who started the season in Double-A ball. Now hitting .252 here in the show with a couple of homers, 7 RBIs. Has had a pretty tough go of it on the homestand. He was 0 for 3 last night. He's 2 for 23 on the homestand. He fouls this back, and he's in the hole 0-2 against the 32-year-old right-hander Colby Lewis.
We have seen a lot of young players get an education this year, Kyle Seager being one of them. He actually started when he was first called up the same way, 2 for 21 or something like that. But I said all along, when you're piling up the amount of hits that he was piling up in the minor leagues, eventually things are going to come around. He's going to hang out some line drives. And I think right now hitting .252 at the start of the game, having those ups and downs, riding that roller coaster, he'll be a much better, more consistent hitter, I think, next year for this club.
Yeah, as Eric Wedge continues to talk every day, in fact, about, hey, they have to make adjustments. It's all about making adjustments. They come up, they hit. Then the league adjusts to them. The pitchers adjust. They get better scouting equipment. Then he makes an adjustment. He hits. Then there's another adjustment. It just keeps going that way. And I think it's terrific. And I think Eric has done a great job at mixing in the youngsters, giving them a chance to experience big league life. Because, you know, hey, you can't beat the experience.
No, you can't. And the thing that I like that he's mixed in with that is he's constantly talking about winning games that day. It's not just, here, we're just going to run these guys out there and hope for the best. No, he still wants to win the games. He wants them to play the game correctly. But you still have to look at what you have as an organization when you're trying to get the thing turned around, and they're heading in the right direction, I think, because of the experience they're giving all these young guys.
Another one out of play, 1-2. The outfield shades Seager to left, and the infield for Texas in double play depth. There you get a look at that Ranger defense. And they do not have a real good defense, by the way. The Rangers, of course, opened the floodgates last night. The game was scoreless in the third. Kinsler made a throwing error at second. The Mariners got 3 of their 4. Center field not deep. Here's Gentry, and he's there to make the catch. Ichiro will go back to first base. So that's 1 away.
And speaking of the defense, let's take a look at the defense playing behind Colby Lewis in this afternoon's ball game. In the outfield, Hamilton will get the start in left field. Gentry out in center. David Murphy has been a hot hitter lately. He will be in right. And on the infield, Adrian Beltre at third. Andrews and Kinsler up the middle. Michael Young will move over to first base. And Mike Napoli will do the catching this afternoon.
And that brings up another youngster, Dustin Ackley. And he takes the ball, of course, chosen in the first round by the Mariners of the Major League Baseball amateur draft in 2009, second overall. And when you're in the top 2 or 3 in the annual June draft, they expect you're going to be a big time big leaguer.
And you're probably going to be a big leaguer in a hurry.
Yes, and it's true here. Throw to first, and Ichiro gets back. Not that there haven't been players at the very top of the draft who have been busts, but the expectation is always extremely high.
The expectation is high, and I think a lot of them are probably busts, don't make it, don't realize what everybody expected them to be. But for me, it's the hardest game to play. Exactly, will pop this one up to third. Adrian Beltre.
He's got a lot of room, makes the catch. That's 2 down with Ichiro at first base.
I think the biggest adjustment is it isn't just that the players at this level are the best. You compile that with the scouting, the reports that they get on them, all those things that come into play that they've never had to worry about in their lives. They get things, you talk about making adjustments, that's the biggest part of it. They pay people to find holes in your swing, areas that you're going to struggle with, and then they actually have guys on the mound that can put it in those areas. It's a difficult thing, but it's part of it. It's the battle.
Mike Karp, strike one. Mike, originally signed by the Mets, came to the Mariners in a trade. 278, 9 homers, 36 RBIs, and he spent a lot of time at Tacoma in the AAA Pacific Coast League. Karp has certainly had to make his adjustments, lost some weight after last season, and the fastball is outside 1-1. I think the knock on Mike Karp, the fear was when he was in the minor leagues going back to the Mets organization, was that his bat wasn't quite quick enough. I saw him coming out of A-ball. We looked at him and said, well, he's a fringe guy because he just didn't look quick.
Right.
But he lost some weight, and I think his bat's a lot quicker than it was even a year ago.
I would agree, and I think for Mike, there's been a couple of things. The weight, yes, and I think the motivation for that was we traded for Smoke. You're not going to play first. You're going to have to go in the outfield. You need to get in better shape to do that. Well, that's great. But the thing that I like about him, and this is something, and you probably saw, I would assume he was the same way even back when you saw him in A-ball, he's always had an idea of the strike zone. Even when he first came up here, even through his struggles, you rarely saw him chase bad pitches. It's just a matter of whether he could get to him or not. And now he's being more aggressive early in counts, and I think that has helped him.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Karp. He's in the cleanup spot in the order. Ichiro led off this first inning with a single to right. He's there with 2 down. The Rangers had a bit of a rally in the top of this first inning with 2 outs. Hamilton an infield single, then Young a single to right off Anthony Vasquez. But Beltre struck out swinging. Karp looks at one high, a fastball. So it's all even at 2-2. Very little breeze, it would appear, here at the ballpark. Very little blue sky, mostly clouds, but very pleasant.
Ichiro will take off with the pitch. Couple of outs and a 3-2 count, so he'll get a running start.
There he goes, and there's Kinsler in front of it, makes the play that retires the side. An inning is gone here at Safeco Field. Rangers, Mariners, no score. Mariners and A's are going to close out the season here at home. 3-game series Wednesday, September 28th, Northwest Getaway Night. All of you have a chance to win great trips around our region, including a 2-night stay and resort credit at the Surf Sand Resort in Cannon Beach, Oregon. For more information or tickets to Northwest Getaways Night, visit mariners.com/getaways. Cannon Beach, nice place down on the northern coast of Oregon. This is Mike Napoli hitting .312, the longtime Angel. And he can swing the bat, to be sure. He's really been hot since the All-Star break, lifting his average to 312. 26 homers, 67 RBIs. And this one is out of play. He's not too far, Mike, from 400 since the break. 382 since the All-Star break, and that was a while ago.
Well, and it's his power number too. The production, just 333 at bats, 26 home runs, 22 doubles. I think, looking at it and looking at where the race is right now, and the difficulty the Angels have had behind the plate to get somebody to hit 200 for them. Maybe they wish they would have had Mike Napoli this year.
Yeah, I'll bet they would. He's up there 2-2. The Angels 3.5 behind Texas. These are big games between the Mariners and the Rangers. The Mariners can certainly, with today, tomorrow, and then 3 in Texas, do a lot to hurt the Rangers' chances. Although with 11 to go, 3.5's a pretty nice lead.
Angels just getting underway in Baltimore. They're in the first inning. No score yet. I think that you're right, and in the end, as you take a look at the standings, don't forget the Rangers and the Angels finish against each other 3 games.
Yeah.
And so right now the Angels are looking at this, and obviously the pressure is on them because they're the ones that are behind, but they'd like for those games to mean something. And on the flip side of it, the Rangers, I'm sure, would like to separate themselves so they can set up their pitching or whatever it is that Ron Washington wants to do to get them ready for the playoffs.
Now remember, Texas only has 3 games left at home, and those are the 3 against the Mariners. Anthony Vasquez, this ball ripped down the line and left. That'll rattle around in the corner. Napoli hits first base, and he'll glide into second with a leadoff double here in the second inning. That's 3 hits already for Texas.
The Rangers lead the league in hitting, and on these replays, when Anthony Vasquez pitching, if you see pitches that are belt high or above, that's going to be trouble for him. He has to get the ball down in the zone, and that pitch was up on a 2-2 count as Napoli rips it down into the corner, his 23rd double of the season.
Here comes Nelson Cruz. He's the DH. He's been out with injury lately, but he is in there for the Rangers this afternoon. He did not play last night. He's hitting a respectable 270 with big numbers in the power areas. 28 homers, 84 RBIs. He's got a chance to pick up Napoli here. If nothing else, you always say in this situation, nobody out, you want to get the runner over to third. I'm not sure big hitters like Nelson Cruz think that way. They're thinking, I'm going to rip run in the gap, get myself an RBI here. He pops it up. Mike Carp. A lot of room in foul ground, and that is out number 1 here in the Rangers' second inning.
I think that you were absolutely right, Ken, with Cruz. I think Ron Washington would rather just let him hit 28 home runs on the year. Pops that pitch up, but you have certain guys in your lineup that you expect to move runners over. That's their job. But for Cruz, he's out there to clean them up, and Washington won't have anything to say to him about popping a ball up to first.
Here is David Murphy, and he looks at a ball. Murphy played a little bit with the Red Sox before the Rangers. Played in last night's game, went 0 for 3, but the Rangers didn't get much. Shut out on only 4 hits. There's a nice one on the outside corner, 1-1. Murphy 272, 11 homers, 43 RBIs. And he has been very, very hot lately. So that's really lifted his average.
Hitting 395 over his last 19 games. And getting some consistent playing time now because of Cruz going on the DL and not being able to play right field. Murphy is getting a chance to play, and he's running with it. Good for him, taking advantage of the situation.
Vasquez's curve is a bit low, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. No score here in the second inning at Safeco Field. The Mariners a 4-0 win over the Rangers last night. And the 2 teams wrap it up tomorrow afternoon. The fastball comes in a little bit on Murphy, and it's fouled away. Still 2-2. Murphy played his college ball at Baylor down in Texas.
I think that last pitch that Vasquez threw to Murphy inside in on his hands. He's started him with some curveballs and a changeup. He'll make those pitches more effective if he can stay on his hands or at least show it to him. Another one in there.
Yeah, little looping liner. Seager has it. And back to second goes Napoli. Isn't that the name of the game with left-handers? Left-handed pitchers, left-hand. Get them in, get them off a little, go away. And, you know, you really have something going when you can throw it 95. Right. But even Vasquez gets it done without being able to throw the ball 95 miles an hour just by placement.
Yeah, the last pitch, 87-mile-an-hour fastball, and he gets it on the hands, and he was able to do it with the pitch before, too. Murphy fighting it off. But and I think he wants to get the hitters out with his breaking ball, his slow curve, and his changeup.
Here's Craig Gentry, and that's a base hit. Charging is Robinson. Coming home is Napoli. Here's the throw. It's cut off. Seager goes to first, and back in safely is Gentry, who has his 11th RBI of the season, a 2-out single in the second, and the Rangers take the lead 1-0.
And for Gentry, this is the off-speed pitch. It's a changeup at 72 miles an hour away from him, leaning out over the plate. Hits it hard into the hole. And Robinson throws up the line. All they could do is cut it off.
That's the idea. You got to cut those balls off so the hitter doesn't end up at second base. Now Kinsler, the leadoff hitter, and he takes a ball. Ian fouled to Karp, the first baseman, to begin the game. Kinsler, almost a rarity in this era of baseball, with a stance that's not spread out. The ball hit to Ryan. He'll go over to Ackley, and they get the 6-4 force on Gentry, and that'll do it. But Texas takes the lead here in the second inning, 1-0.
Ultimate Mariners fan from Havre, Montana, and I watch all my games on Cablevision.
Great to have a fan from Havre, Montana. There are Mariners fans everywhere. Alaska, down to southern Oregon, all over Idaho, BC. It's great. And wherever you're watching today, we're happy you're with us here at Safeco Field. This is Adam Kennedy, and he takes a couple, and it's 1-1 strike. My name's Ken Wilson. Nice to be here. Enjoy being with you. Mike Blowers also on hand. Here's one, loop to left. That's a base hit off Colby Lewis. So Adam Kennedy leads off the second inning, a .233 hitter with a base hit. Both leadoff men for the Mariners here early have base hits.
And for Adam, he gets a breaking ball, 77 miles an hour. It's up, out over the plate. Veteran serves it in the left field. Solid base hit for Kennedy. Adam's been struggling lately, so that has to feel good.
That'll bring up the switch hitting catcher, Josh Bard.
Josh hitting .218 on the year, only 78 at bats.
Yeah, this is just his 23rd start. Remember, he started at Tacoma, spent most of the season at Tacoma. He's been one of those fellas that, has certainly played his share in the big leagues, but on the other hand, has spent about an equal time at AAA. Kind of goes back and forth. Had, a few full seasons, 05, 06, 07. Full seasons in the big leagues. Otherwise, every season that he's been in the big leagues, he's also spent some time at AAA. And he's in the hole. No balls, 2 strikes.
And I think he's been good for the team. I think Josh brings that experience with him. He's worked with a lot of the young pitchers who are now here with the club. He had them in Tacoma, has an idea of what they're about. I think it's been good. I think it's been real good to have Josh around.
Hit over 300 in AAA. Quick throw to first. Easily back is Kennedy. The Rangers in double play depth here. A big thanks out on the infield dirt. Thanks to all Mariner fans. Fan Appreciation Day. Here's one looped to left center. Hamilton gliding in. A very routine play, and back to first goes Kennedy. And that's 1 out. And that'll bring up Brendan Ryan, who I think has been a real plus for this club. Everybody talked about him being the top defensive shortstop in the National League the last couple of seasons, playing at St. Louis, playing under Tony La Russa, which I like Tony. I've been with Tony on clubs, but Tony can be difficult to play for, and I think Brendan has exhibited here an exuberant personality, and sometimes that might not fit in. Here's a base hit to left. That's what you like to see. Stopping at second is Kennedy. So the Mariners have 2 on with only 1 out here in the second inning.
And Brendan gets a fastball that he can handle. Solid line drive, base hit in the left field. Keep this inning moving along as he gets the base hit. Kennedy will move up to second. Well, I think that he has just been terrific this year. And defensively, I don't think there's anybody better in the American League.
I agree. Well, he's quotable. He's a personality. He's the first to tell you, he likes to move. He likes to keep in motion, and he's got a lot of nervous energy, and he likes to talk. And you have to appreciate that, not reject it. There's a fastball strike to Trayvon Robinson, still another rookie, hitting .235, a couple of homers, 10 RBIs. Came in that 3-way Dodger, Red Sox, Mariners trade. Spent a few days at Tacoma. He had been at Albuquerque, the Dodgers farm team in the Coast League. And that's a strike, and he's in the hole 0-2, and then came up and hit a bit. Now he's kind of tailed off again. He's 1 for 18 on this homestand, and we talked about it earlier. That's really to be expected more than anything else.
I think that it is, and for him again, he's not getting an opportunity to play every day. He has 100 at bats now, 102 for him, but it's one of those things where at this level they'll figure something out on you, and then they'll go to that area, and it's up to you to adjust to it. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time. And when you think about it, with Trayvon, a switch hitter, but he's only been a switch hitter for 5 years, something that he picked up after he had signed his first professional contract. That's not a lot of time. A natural right-handed hitter.
He gets jammed, little roller. Andrews gobbles it up, throws to first, and that cuts down the hitter Robinson as Kennedy advances to third and Ryan to second. So the right kind of hit here could erase that Rangers 1-0 lead.
And that will bring up Michael Saunders. Saunders showed up today. He originally was not in the lineup. Casper Wells was starting in center field. He was scratched, so Michael's in there, going to get a chance to help his club out right here with this at bat. I think for Michael, he's made some mechanical adjustments with his stance and his approach at the plate. He's a tremendous athlete. He can do a lot of things. Big guy, has some power, can really run, and that's what I'd like to see him do more of. Get aggressive early in counts. I think this year he got into the habit of trying to take a lot of pitches That's a tough way to go when you find yourself 0-2, 1-2. At this level, they will go to work on you. And I'd like to see him be aggressive with the fastball early.
158, couple of homers, 8 RBIs. He hit 130 points higher during his midseason stay at Tacoma. So not all is lost, certainly. 1 ball, 1 strike. Young man from Victoria, British Columbia. The Rangers getting a run on a Craig Gentry base hit in the top of the second. Can Saunders come up with a big hit? Breaking ball takes it to 2-1. With 2 outs here, he's got Kennedy at third and Ryan out at second. So a terrific opportunity for Saunders and the Mariners here against Colby Lewis. And a nice block by Napoli. So it's 3-1, a great hitting count here for Saunders. And when you're Colby Lewis, you know your next hitter is Ichiro. So, you know, it's not like you're going, oh, well, you know, you're not pitching around Michael Saunders, the 9th hitter. You got to throw some strikes here.
Absolutely, even though first base is open. But that's something that Michael needs to realize, too. He needs to know who's sitting over there on deck. And be ready to hit, because there's a good chance you're going to get a pitch to hit right here.
Yeah, it should be, unless Lewis really is having trouble. They go in with a fastball. That was the idea. It goes up. So Saunders walks, and the bases are loaded with Mariners and 2 outs here in the second inning. For Lewis, his first walk.
Ichiro, first pitch hitting to lead the game off. Hammered a single into right field.
We mentioned earlier, this is the 10th game of the homestand. Ichiro now with 10 hits on the homestand. Remember, he's had a couple of homers. He has 5 RBIs. 4 grand slams in his career, hitting over 400 with a bases jammed. That's pretty impressive. Here's a chopper up the middle, may get through. It does, a base hit. Kennedy scores. Here comes Ryan. He'll score. Oh, baby. Ichiro comes through here in the second inning, and the Mariners take the lead 2-1. RBIs 42 and 43 for Ichiro.
And again, it's Ichiro being aggressive early in the count. Had a base hit on the first pitch, his first time up. Here you go, first pitch fastball again. Great success with the bases loaded, a 407 average coming into this at bat, so that number will go up for him. It's a ground ball at the middle, finds a hole, and drives in a couple of runs.
So now 7 RBIs on the homestand, the 10-game stand to this point. So Ichiro now has surpassed Mickey Mantle with 2,416 hits. First pitch, a strike to Kyle Seager, who flied out to center last inning, his first at bat. 2-1 Mariners here in the second. 3 singles with a 2-out walk thrown in. A curve, and Napoli blocks it, a ball and a strike. The plate umpire is Brian Gorman, getting a new baseball out to Lewis. Young man who's from Bakersfield, California. His career, he in 04 had rotator cuff surgery, missed the entire 2005 season. Here's a shot off the bat of Seager into the corner. Scoring is Saunders. They're waving at Ichiro. Murphy with a throw to the plate, the slide, it's not in time, and Ichiro scores. Seager, a 2-base hit. He drives into, and the Mariners rocking here in the second inning. They lead it 4-1. Boy, he hit a bullet.
And for Kyle, he gets an off-speed pitch. It looks like it's a changeup, 84 miles an hour, and just rips it by the first baseman, Moreland. Ball ended up getting caught up down there in the corner, so Ichiro was able to come all the way around from first to score. Let's take a look at the slide. He'll touch the plate with his hand.
So now Mike Maddox, the pitching coach for the Rangers, out to the mound and already on his way back to the dugout, trying to settle down 32-year-old Colby Lewis. So there's Seager, the rookie. He gets a couple of RBIs. The veteran Ichiro gets a couple of RBIs. And it's always nice when your 1 and 2 hitters contribute 4 runs batted in early. First pitch, a strike to Dustin Ackley, who is the 8th Mariner to bat here in the 2nd inning. Remember last night when the M's exploded for 3 runs with some luck and some help in the 3rd inning, they batted around. This one spanked to Kinsler. The throw to first in time, so Ackley's gone, but the damage is done. The Mariners in the 2nd inning take the lead 4-1. Well, a little bit of AT&T trivia. 39 players reached the 30 home run and 100 RBI plateau in the 2000 season. How many have reached that plateau this season? There's the information to text. First pitch here in the 3rd to Elvis Andrus is a strike. Elvis flied out in the 1st inning. There's that trivia question again, just to make sure you have it. And now 1 ball, 1 strike. Andrus with a 10-game hitting streak. Soft pitch out in front of it, 1-2. This fella's still young. He's only 23. From Venezuela. Not the first shortstop out of Venezuela.
No.
Fouls it back. I guess all the shortstops, not all of them, but you either come from Venezuela or the Dominican. And then there's a few exceptions like Brendan Ryan. There have been some dandies.
Some great ones.
Dave Concepcion always comes to mind with the big red machine.
Omar Vizquel, former Mariner.
Yeah, he can play a bit.
Yeah, he could catch the ball.
He could get it done. Am I right? Luis Aparicio was from Venezuela?
I believe he was. Yeah. That's make Rick Riz happy, his favorite player.
That's going back a ways, which is all right. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Elvis Andrus. Josh Hamilton on deck. Then Michael Young. This is a very, very tough Rangers team offensively. There's that slow curve, and it doesn't quite get the strike zone. 3-2.
Like Anthony thought it was a strike. According to the tracer, it was on the corner.
Here's a fly ball, well tagged. Robinson back, may run out of room. He's at the wall. It's out of here. The 5th home run of the season for the Texas Rangers shortstop, Elvis Andrus. And that cuts the Mariners' lead to 4-2.
And Anthony Vasquez gets himself into a situation. He has a 3-run lead, falls behind 3-2, and throws an 86-mile-an-hour fastball in the inner half of the plate. No stride for Andrus. Hits the ball a long ways out into the bullpen, the Mariners bullpen.
Speaking of a long ways, here's a fellow who can hit him a long ways, Josh Hamilton. He had an infield hit his first trip. He rips this. It's deep. Well hit into the corner, and it is a fair ball and out of here. Boy, a line drive that he tucks in inside the pole at the 326 mark, and that's the 23rd home run of the season for the 2010 AL MVP Josh Hamilton. So back-to-back homers from the Rangers to greet Vasquez here in the third.
And you can see the location. Middle. 86 miles an hour. And this is a line drive.
That gets out in a hurry, and all of a sudden it's 4-3 Mariners. Here's the cleanup hitter, Michael Young. Boy, when your club goes out in an inning, they're down 1-0, they roll a 4. You like to come back to the mound and boom, right there, put a big wall up against the opposition, but it's not always that easy to do.
It's not, and for Anthony, again, he has to work on the edges of the plate. He can't pitch in the middle. Michael Pineda can get away with it. Felix can get away with it. He does not have that kind of stuff. And he lines out to the shortstop, Rodriguez, who's taken over for Brendan Ryan. As soon as we know what happened with Brendan, we'll let you know. But Rodriguez in the game?
Yeah, just came in the game at shortstop. Rodriguez, who was the hitting star on Wednesday night in that 12-inning victory over the Yanks when he hit that home run.
He also had a couple of doubles in the game.
Yeah, so he hit 3 essentially mammoth fly balls, because the 2 doubles were high flies out in front of that 385 marker, which, you know, when you look at it, they might have been longer fly balls than the home run.
They may have been.
There's one. Oh, baby. Whoa, Adrian Beltre. Oh, off the facade of the second deck here at Safeco. The third Texas Rangers home run here in the third inning for Beltre, his 26th, and it ties it at 4. So this is a club now with 191 home runs, second in the league only to the New York Yankees.
And for Beltre, his 6th home run over the last 11 games. Another fastball, this one at 87 miles an hour. Adrian knows it right away. So it hits off the stairwell up past the Rangers bullpen.
Wow. He hit that baby a ton.
And Carl Willis makes a trip out to the mound, try to settle Anthony down. Tied ball game now. 3 solo home runs in the game. 48 pitches for Anthony.
Ryan Gorman, the plate umpire, goes out. Action in the Mariners pen.
It's like Jeff Gray is getting loose in the Mariners pen. And I think for Anthony, the thing that he did well in the first and the second inning is he was throwing those fastballs, but he was throwing them in, and he was getting him in, maybe even off the plate. As we take a look at this home run from Beltre, off the facade up there just to the right of the Jackie Robinson sign.
That's a poke. First pitch, a strike to Mike Napoli, who doubled and scored in the second. I don't think you see him in the upper deck there every day, do you?
No.
1 ball, 1 strike on Napoli, who's 29 years of age now. Still very much in his prime and having a big year, his first with Texas. 2 balls and a strike. So Andrus led off with a home run. Hamilton followed with a homer. The cleanup hitter Young could only manage a line drive to short, and then Beltre homers. That's a strike, and it's 2-2. Napoli, early in his days in the Angels system, wasn't able to accomplish a whole lot. He swings and misses. 5 years he spent in A-ball and then exploded in his 5th season in A-ball, and you know the rest of the story. So a strikeout for Vasquez. He does not strike out many. That is his second. And now he'll face Nelson Cruz, and there's strike 1.
One of the things we saw in last night's game with Bevan on the mound is he went to his curveball. He was less than 50% fastballs in the game, and it looks like Carl Willis went out and had a conversation with Anthony. All 3 home runs, including the line drive to short, all of those pitches were fastballs in the middle of the plate. And since then, it has been changeup, curveball, shows a fastball off the plate, then come back with soft stuff, and that's the way he's going to have to approach the Rangers hitters. They like to hit the fastball.
2-1 on Cruz, and he's out in front of the change, and it's 2-2, 73 miles per hour. And that's it. And Bevan was, as you pointed out, he was the master last night at changing speeds with fabulous location. Look at that. Boy, all of a sudden, Carl Willis goes out. He looks like the ultimate teacher. Napoli and Cruz strike out, but 3 Rangers home runs.
Fan from the state of Washington, and we watch all our Mariners games on Root Sports. Go Mariners!
Here's the first pitch to Mike Karp. It's a strike, the only Mariners hitter not to bat in the second inning against Colby Lewis. Giving you a chance to connect with some great Mariners fans, all being awarded before the game here on Fan Appreciation Day. A Mariners fan being saluted from every state around, and great ceremony. Our buddy Rick Riz hosted it in a tuxedo, which was,
he looked terrific.
Oh, he absolutely did. I told him, I said, this is the first time I've worn a coat and tie here at the ballpark this summer. And
well, you've been on radio.
Yeah, and I said, you got to go one better me. I thought I looked pretty good. You show up in a tuxedo. Come on. 2-2 the count on Karp. That radio life is pretty nice.
It's not bad. Right?
Yeah, it's all right. Here's a liner, and Beltre has it. Karp hits it sharply, but right into the third baseman's glove.
Mike swinging the bat aggressively, solid line drive. Unfortunately, it's right at Beltre. It's the first out of the inning. Mariners have to remember, we just saw the Rangers hitting some home runs. Colby Lewis has given up 33 home runs this year. The Mariners just scored 4 runs off of him in the second inning. Just need to keep battling and staying after it.
First pitch strike to Adam Kennedy. It's 4-4 in the third inning. Kennedy led off last inning with a single, scored the first of the 4. Ichiro drove in 2 with a single. Seager drove in a pair with a double. That was after the Rangers got a run in the second on a single from Craig Gentry. Back to the net, 1 and 2, and then the 3 homers from the Rangers in the top of this third. Andrews, Hamilton, and Beltre. So this has all the makings of one of those 9-8 contests. that you see every once in a while. 2 balls, 2 strikes, which is not unusual, or wouldn't be unusual for Texas. Hey, they score lots of runs, and they get lots of games where they score 7, 8, or 9, or 10. Of course, the Mariners don't quite have that luxury. Beltre calling. Andrews really wants it. And the veteran finally says, hey, it's like he was waving away at a fly, just sort of move away. And they're 2 down.
Looked like Andrews was laughing about it.
Well, tomorrow is Kids Appreciation Day here at Safeco. All youngsters 14 and under are going to take home a Moose poster thanks to Ivars and Kid Valley. Plus, you youngsters and your families are going to be treated to a pregame parade. That's right on the field at 11:30 tomorrow morning. All sorts of prizes being given away. First pitch, a strike to catcher Josh Bard. Some autographed baseballs for you youngsters tomorrow. A Nintendo Wii, in case you don't have one. Karaoke machine, and a whole lot more. It's 1-1. All to be given away tomorrow for tickets. And what a great day to come out with the family. And Felix Hernandez is going to pitch. Simply go to Mariners.com for tickets for tomorrow's Kids Appreciation Day. Fastball is high, 2-1 on Bard, who flied to left his first time up last inning. Mentioned Bard has been around. First got to the big leagues in 2002 with Cleveland. He breaks his bat, hits this roller just foul. Also played in the big time with the Red Sox, the Padres, and the Nationals. Of course, played a bit last season with the Mariners. He'll go get a new bat. Lots of folks out in right center field up on that concourse. The Dave Niehaus statue unveiled yesterday. And
that was great, wasn't it?
Oh, it was at 3 o'clock. A really nice ceremony. And I know right here on Root Sports, a lot of coverage last night of it. And I hope you fans, if you weren't here at the ballpark, were able to see all the great coverage we had here on television. Bard with that new bat takes it, and it's 3-2. I'm just thrilled with the way they've honored Dave, and thrilled with the statue, if you will, with a table and the chair next to it. I think tomorrow morning I'm going to go out there and sit in that chair and look at Dave off to the right. That's how I remember Dave, looking at the side of him.
Well, you're his first partner here in Seattle.
Here's a foul back, still 3-2.
I thought that everything went well. Rick Riz, of course, emceed it, and Chuck Armstrong was able to speak at it and was great. And Maryland really held it together and was terrific. And I think that the response from the fans last night here during the game, it was nonstop. There was a line out there the entire game last night.
Bard, a swing and a miss, and the Mariners go in order here in the 3rd inning. After 3 at Safeco, this one is tied 4-4. Now our fan balloting, how many players have 30 home runs and 100 RBIs this season? And you can see most fans thought 17. That's a big number. The answer is A, 7. Jose Bautista, Curtis Granderson, we saw him the other night with Mark Teixeira. Prince Fielder, the free agent to be, Ryan Howard, Matt Kemp, Troy Tulowitzki. So there you go. 7 is the answer in our AT&T trivia question. 7 being the A answer. Congratulations if you were on top of it. Here is David Murphy leading off the 4th inning. And it is strike 1. I believe I would have probably not come up with that correct answer. This one bounced up there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Anthony Vasquez, after Carl Willis went out following 3 home runs to tie the game last inning, struck out Napoli and Cruz, 2 pretty good hitters. So as you were pointing out so aptly, Mike, you know, you have to make those adjustments, and Willis got him to do that.
Well, and I think it's important, and for him, I know what he's thinking. He's thinking, okay, I have a 4-1 lead. I don't want to walk a batter. I'm going to be aggressive early, try to stay ahead of these guys, and the Rangers are an aggressive group, especially on the fastball as he walks Murphy now. And then you get out of what maybe the game plan was, and I think Carl just went out there as a reminder, because I thought Anthony was doing a nice job of mixing in his fastball, throwing it inside, and then going back and staying soft. Eric Wedge coming out of the dugout. He's going right to the right-hander.
Yeah, he says that's enough. Vasquez will go 3+ innings. That's it. And, of course, he would be in a position to lose only if Murphy scores and the Rangers continued to lead. So Anthony Vasquez departs, and we'll get a new Mariners pitcher here in the 4th inning. As the Mariners go to their bullpen, that's our Nissan shift to the bullpen.
Jeff Gray will take over for the Mariners. Anthony Vasquez, short outing for him, 3+ innings, so Gray will take over. Different look for the Rangers now. Jeff's fastball will be 94, 95 miles an hour. Numbers this year, an 0-1 record. 42 2/3 innings pitched, 22 strikeouts to 19 walks. Opponent's average 271.
So we'll see what will happen here. This is almost like starting over here in the 4th inning at 4-4. We've seen the Rangers get a run in the 2nd inning off Vasquez, then a big 8-hitter 2nd inning for the Mariners. 2-run hits from Ichiro and Seager, 4-1. You're going, well, no, just maybe this is a laugher, but that didn't last long because Andrews came right up in the top of the 3rd, right after the Mariners got their 4 homered. Hamilton followed with a homer with 1 out. Beltre homered. So now after a leadoff walk to David Murphy, Gray comes on. He'll face the 9th hitter, Craig Gentry, who runs well. The runner at first goes, a chopper to Karp. He's got to hurry, and he gets to the bag in front of Gentry, who we noted is quick, and he certainly is. And over at second base now is Murphy with 1 out.
And this really, as you can tell, is not far off the bag, but with Gentry's speed, he had to hustle to get the first. Murphy on the move when the ball was hit, so he'll get down to second. That's another thing that Ron Washington has changed with the Rangers. They will run. They will run. It used to be when you played the Rangers, they'd sit around and wait for 3-run home runs because of the ballpark and the type of lineup they have. But you have to pay attention to the guys in their lineup because they will run in all of them. He'll send everybody.
Kinsler, the leadoff hitter, 0 for 2, takes a ball. Played his college ball, played a season at ASU and a season at Missouri. He came out of Missouri, getting drafted when Missouri had a real good club in that 2003 to 2006, 2007 era. Now it's 2-0. Interesting, Kinsler was a 17th round draft pick in 2003. He takes a fastball tight, and it is 3-0. So you've got Kinsler, who played at Missouri. You've got Gray, who played at Southwest Missouri State. And I'm going to suggest to you that they probably played against each other. Because, yeah, Southwest Missouri State in 03, Gray was pitching. Kinsler was hitting for Missouri, and they play each other with some regularity in the spring.
I'm sure.
So they probably have seen each other before today. Might have been a while. And there's ball 4. So Gray walks his first man, and there are Rangers at first and second with 1 out here in the 4th inning. Let's take a look at the Mariners calendar, brought to you by Sleep Country USA. We're getting down to the short strokes now. Tomorrow, the wrap-up game of the series, and then the Mariners will go to Cleveland for a makeup game Monday, 3 in Minnesota, 3 in Texas, and then we'll wrap it up here at home. There's the way September looks, wrapping up the 2011 season. Elvis Andrus, first pitch hit out of play off to the right. This crowd has been kind of a late arriving crowd. When we started, we didn't have anywhere near this many people in the ballpark. Kind of an unusual start.
Yeah,
4:10.
Change out of the norm for everybody.
Maybe some of these folks getting here for the gates to open at 5:10 for the 7:10 game.
Maybe.
Here's one high, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. I hope not, but it has been a late arriving crowd and a nice turnout for Fan Appreciation Day. The Mariners really do appreciate the great support they get here throughout the Pacific Northwest. Andrus rips a base hit to left. The lead runner, Murphy, will put on the brakes, held by Dave Anderson, the third base coach, and the ball cut off by Seager. So a couple of walks really putting the Mariners in a poor position here. Now you get into the heart of that Texas order with the bases jammed and only 1 out.
And again, for the Rangers, leading the league in hitting. They are 3rd in runs scored, 2nd in home runs. They can put it on you in a hurry.
Oh, man. And you know, we just saw the Yankees for 3, and now the Rangers for 3. Here is Josh Hamilton. And there is strike 1. Josh hit one away his first time up. This was a bullet to right.
Took 3.1 seconds. The time he left his bat to hitting the fence for a home run.
Hamilton, quite a talent. He doesn't even move like other players. He's just, you know, his swing is nice. He plays left. He kind of runs like, hey, I have nice big body, rangy. It's not too surprising that in '99, when the scouts saw him, he was good enough to be the first player chosen in the 1999 draft, 1 and 2.
Hearing so much about him, and then when the Rangers ended up signing him, my first chance to see him play live, that's what impressed me. You can see that he's a big man, obviously has power, but to watch him run, he can really get down the line. He covers a lot of ground in the outfield. The only reason why he's not playing center field is because they're trying to keep him healthy.
He pulls an outside pitch to right, base hit. Murphy scores. Here comes the throw to third, cut off as Kinsler scores. Andrus goes from first to third. Hamilton now has 3 RBIs in the game with his 2-run single, and it is 6-4 Texas. And oh, those bases on balls.
Solid base hit for Hamilton. Ichiro in right field playing deep as you would expect. So by the time he gets to the ball on the ground, Kinsler's able to come around and score without a throw to home. I think that was one of the great things about last night's ball game. Bevan didn't walk anybody through 8, and Brandon Lee came in and closed things out in the 9th. Based on balls, errors, those things will hurt you when you're up against a club that is first in hitting.
The Mariners in double play depth for the cleanup hitter Michael Young. So the first hitter in the inning, Murphy, the last man Vasquez faced, walk. Second hitter that Gray faces, Kinsler, walks. Now they've both scored. 6-4 Texas. Young is 1 out of 2. He rips this to right. Ichiro there makes the catch. Tagging is Andrews. Here he comes, and the throw is cut off by Carp. So Young picks up the 102nd home run of his season, or 102nd RBI of his season. That's 3 in the inning, and it's 7-4 Texas. And Mike, this is more of the Texas team you expect rather than the team that got shut out on 4 hits last night. 7 or more is not unusual for them.
And that's what they had been averaging over the past week coming into the game yesterday, which is another reason why Blake Bevan was so impressive. And you just have to stay out of the middle of the plate. You cannot fall behind these guys. They'll make you pay for it, which is something that Blake was able to do last night. And with these runs being scored, now Anthony Vasquez, you can close the book on him. 3+ innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned. 63 pitches, 40 strikes. So a tough outing for Anthony.
1 walk leading off this inning, 3 strikeouts. And there's a strike on Adrian Beltre, who struck out against Vasquez in the first, but hit the last of the 3 solo home runs in the 3rd inning. Hamilton now with that 2-run single, 91 RBIs this season. And there's a foul. Beltre swinging it on the play, on the pitch. Hamilton started to go, then kind of stops. I imagine Beltre saw that out of the corner of his eye.
It's for some hitters, they notice it, some of them don't. It looked like after Beltre fouled the pitch off, he looked down at Hamilton right away, so maybe he did, to give you an idea that maybe he did pick that up.
Now 2 strikes. Jeff Gray working in relief. He bends one, and it's hit sharply to Ryan, over to Ackley, and they get the force there on Hamilton. But in the inning, 3 runs for Texas. They lead 7-4.
Hi, everybody. Angie Mente here at the Northwest Sports Desk. Meantime, the Huskies were going on the road for the first time this season, up against Nebraska, trying to get to 3-0 for the first time in a decade. They trailed by 3 at the midway point, but could never really stop the Nebraska offense. The Huskers scored 31 points in the second half, including the 6-yard run by Aaron Green. Nebraska wins 51-38 in our Sterling Savings Bank Sport. Ken?
Thank you very much, Angie. Here is Luis Rodriguez, who fielded that ground ball off the bat of Beltre for the final out in the top of the 4th. He leads off his first time up, coming in the third defensively when Brendan Ryan left the game. No report on Ryan, but there he had a base hit in the second inning.
With the way that he's trying to get that guard off of his leg, the other night it was his back, and watching him trying to take the shin guard off of his leg, I think maybe his back grabbed him again, and so he ended up coming out of the game. So Rodriguez will get an opportunity, but it looked like it was his back again.
Rodriguez up there 2-1. He's a base hit away from getting over 200, batting 198. Had that 12th inning home run. First time he's hit a home run in the big leagues that was of the walk-off variety. He cuts and doesn't get it. It's 2-2. Luis Rodriguez, to me, Mike, is sort of the ultimate veteran utility infielder. You know, he's not going to overwhelm you too often. He did on Wednesday night, but you know, he's a dependable, sturdy, strong kind of utility guy you like to have on your club.
He strikes out here on the last pitch, but he is somebody that has come up with some big hits. You mentioned the home run. He did a double earlier in the year to give the Mariners a win. It's a difficult job. You have to sit on the bench for a week or 10 days at a time and not see live pitching. So typically the numbers are going to be down, but when he gets in the field, he makes the plays. He can do some things. That was the point of him making the club coming out of spring training. That's what they felt like he was going to give them. But as you know, numbers start to catch up to you, and guys are in and out.
One strike on Trayvon Robinson. We talked earlier about Josh Bard. I guess Rodriguez and Bard are the same kinds of players. Good enough to be in the big leagues, but when you get to that, well, we've got to make a move. We've got to, well, let's, you know, send them out to AAA. And,
right.
And they'll play well at AAA. And you know they're there, and then they'll come back and help you out.
And every organization has to have people like that. You're not going to stay healthy. You have to have those guys. And if you, as you mentioned, if you have guys that have experience, all the better.
Yeah, and they end up, like Bard, like Rodriguez, playing for 3 or 4 organizations in their career. And when their career's over, those organizations will say, yeah, they were good, you know. They helped us. They were dependable. We liked them. They were good to have. And that's why when they're available, usually somebody will pick them up.
Right. Looking at Josh Bard sitting on the bench. Hopefully he has a lot of time left to play, but I would imagine one day he'll end up being a manager somewhere.
Yep. Swing and a miss by Robinson. He's out of there. Well, the postseason is just around the corner, and catch all the action of the 2011 Major League Baseball postseason on Fox and TBS. And fans, the excitement begins Friday, September 30th with the Division Series on TBS. Well, you see so many catchers who have become managers, and Eric Wedge is just one of many, many examples. Here is Mike Saunders, who walked and scored in the second inning. Ball one. The Mariners batting here in the fourth, trailing 7-4. Ron Washington for the Rangers, a bit of an exception as an infielder. He takes a strike, Saunders does. But you had Joe Girardi here earlier in the week with the Yankees, a catcher. There's a strike, 1-2.
Yep, Socha with the Angels, and Melvin now with the A's.
Yeah.
Eric Wedge here with the Mariners. All former catchers.
One thing you don't see is too many former pitchers as managers. There's a strike. Bud Black of San Diego, of course, comes to mind as an example. The Mariners go 1-2-3, all striking out.
baseball on Root Sports. My name is Kyle Hostetler.
The ultimate Northwest Mariners fan in Oregon. I watch all my Seattle Mariners games on Beaver Creek Television, channel 28 and 628 HD. Go M's!
There you go.
Great job.
Yeah. Up from the great state of Oregon. Here we go, 5th inning. The Mariners are on the short end of a 7-4 score. They led it one time, 4-1. Napoli, Cruz, and Murphy against reliever Jeff Gray, who came in last inning in relief of Anthony Vasquez. So quickly, 2 strikes. Napoli a leadoff double in the second, scored on a 2-out Craig Gentry single. And it's 1-2, and then the Rangers had 3 solo homers in the third, Andrews, Hamilton, and Beltre, and then added 3 more in the fourth. Just for good measure. Back to the net, 1-2. Big blow in the fourth was a 2-run Josh Hamilton single. And Young had a sacrifice fly.
Yeah, and I think the hope is that after that inning, Jeff will settle down and keep the score where it's at.
Here's Rodriguez. He's going to get the throw away and get Napoli 1 up and 1 down. Well, there you go. Keep your eye on going green by riding Sound Transit to work. Visit soundtransit.org for details. Busy place down here. Of course, next door you've got CenturyLink Field. You've got a Sounders game coming up while this game is going on here at Safeco Field. Swing and a miss. Nelson Cruz, 1 strike. Sounders are playing, am I right? DC United. I believe that's the case today. Outfield deep to left on Nelson Cruz. He breaks his bat. A shot. It goes off Ackley into center field. So Cruz is aboard with 1 out here in the 5th inning. That'll be a single. And the Rangers in double digits now with 10 hits.
I thought Dustin was going to come up with this. Jams Cruz, goes off of Gray's glove. He just gets a piece of it. And then when Ackley was going over to make the backhanded play, I thought he was going to be able to get to it, but it looked like it goes off the end of his glove.
So that'll bring up David Murphy. The Mariners in double play depth. Swing and a miss. 1 strike on Murphy, who is lined to third. Led off last inning with a walk, the last hitter that Vasquez faced, and scored. Here's a shot to left center. That's a base hit for Murphy. Cruz will stop at second base. And here come the Rangers again.
And Murphy gets a fastball down and away. Oh, a great piece of hitting. Not trying to do too much with it. Drives it out into center field on the line.
And that'll bring up the 9th hitter, Craig Gentry, who singled in a run in the second, bounced to first in the 4th. Facing Jeff Gray, working in his 28th game this season. He pitched 6 with the White Sox. So just, really hasn't had as much opportunity to work as he would like to remain sharp, certainly. 1 strike on Gentry.
When the trade was made and he came over to the Mariners, he sat out in the bullpen, it seemed like, for a month.
I know.
Before he had a chance. And then he kind of worked his way into where he's getting some regular work, and that has changed again. Better hustle.
Seager to Ackley. That's the out they'll get as they cut down Murphy 5-4. Over to third goes Nelson Cruz. And they're 2 away here in the Rangers' 5th inning.
You can see Cruz coming off the leg injury, really not doing anything to stress those legs at all. We were talking about Beltre earlier, but it looked like Cruz shut it down right away.
Yeah, Cruz has not broken a sweat here, believe me, on the bases in this inning. He's not going to hurt himself any further. Top of the order, Ian Kinsler. And there's a strike.
I'm sure those are orders coming from the manager. It's not a matter of him not wanting to run hard. I mean, we've seen the Rangers, Ron Washington's clubs, they always play hard, but I think that's why Ron has him as the DH and not in right field where he would normally play.
He's very understanding about Beltre and Cruz right now in terms of running, not wanting them to get hurt anymore. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wants them in there, but certainly realizes that there's some likelihood that this club's going to see some postseason play, and he'd like them to be healthy for the postseason. Yet on the other hand, he can't quite say sit out a week because they still have to win to get to the postseason.
And I think that's a great point, and I think that's exactly the reason why they're in the lineup, because they have to still get there. And these are 2 of their better right-handed hitters in Cruz and Beltre, and I think that's the reason why the guys want to be in the lineup, because they know it's important. And Wash is willing to put him in there at this point because they haven't sewn anything up yet. It looks like they're going to be there, but you have to win games, and these guys give them the best chance, even if they're not at 100%.
Ian Kinsler, pushback, 2-1.
Cesar Jimenez, the left-hander, is getting loose in the Mariners' pen now.
We mentioned Kinsler, a 17th round draft pick. Not too many 17th round draft picks end up having as strong a career as Kinsler has had. Granted, he's only in his 6th season, but he's put up big numbers. Runner at first goes. That's Gentry, and he'll go back now, and it's 2-2 on Kinsler. You got to tip your hat to those draft picks in the teens. I know not too many, can make it. I mean, it's not like being 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th rounders.
Well, not only make it, but being an all-star. And you're right about that. I think the main thing, I mean, Kinsler obviously a ton of ability. That's the reason why he's doing what he's doing, 29 home runs on the year. But when you get down into the minor leagues and those draft picks, and this, Ken, it's about opportunities. And if you're a higher pick and the club has invested more in you, you're going to get more opportunities than somebody that's a 17th round pick.
Funny how that works. Kinsler pops it up. Foul ground. Bard. He squeezes it, and that'll do it. So the Rangers leave a couple. It remains 7-4 Texas.
to get back 3 runs. Hi, everybody. Angie Mentink here. I just saw some people taking a picture next to Dave, and they had their backs to the camera. I go, what on earth is that? And on one jersey it said my oh my, and the other one it said fly away. Hey, we'd like to welcome Clear Creek Communications subscribers in Oregon City, Oregon. Thank you for rooting on your Seattle Mariners. All of us here at Root Sports and the Mariners appreciate your support and your continued partnership. Ken, back upstairs to you.
All right, nice job, Angie. Thank you. And Ichiro leading off. He has singled twice, drove in 2 with his base hit in the second, and came around to score. Little squibber that goes foul, 0-2. So Ichiro has surpassed Mickey Mantle in terms of all-time hits. And, of course, we're not including Ichiro's early career in Japan. We're talking about Major League Baseball now with 2,416 hits.
Mickey Mantle, one of my all-time favorites, Mickey Mantle. 172 hits on the season for Ichiro. I don't know why. I never saw him play.
Really?
Saw some video here and there.
I saw him play quite a bit.
I think, but hearing the stories, of course, eventually I ended up with New York for a little bit of time, so had the opportunity to meet him. Ichiro strikes out swinging.
That's 5 strikeouts in a row for the veteran Colby Lewis, who I think really benefited from those runs because he's been outstanding since the Rangers started to score here in this contest. The Mick was quite a player. Of course, he was, it's not unlike the Yankees now or in many different eras. They had some great teams when Mantle came up. Up the middle, a base hit for Kyle Seager. So after flying out in the first, the rookie third baseman has doubled in a run and now singled. So that's good to see. Time now for Banner Bank building to the future.
Blake Bevan. As you can see, no walks. We were talking about the walks in this game that have hurt the Mariners. No walks for Blake last night over the 8 innings that he had pitched. 95 pitches, only 4 hits to the Rangers. It was something special. He put on a clinic on how to use your breaking ball and your changeup effectively.
Fouled away by Dustin Ackley, who's 0 for 2. Ackley had a hit last night. He is just 4 for 33 on this homestand. So his average is still at 283. Seager at first, 1 out. This one fouled back. 0-2. So your favorite player was Mickey Mantle. I remember for some reason the 61 season, and the Yankees had one of their great teams in 1961, and I happened to see a lot of games that year, and they won 109 games in 1961. And of course a fellow named Maris hit 61 home runs. Here's a high fly that'll go foul in the crowd. I just happened to, I was at the right age to see a lot of games, and I grew up in an American League city, and we didn't like the Yankees much.
That's okay.
And well, that happens. That happens. I was a Detroit Tiger fan at the time, and the Tigers had one of their greatest seasons ever in 1961. And I mean, I'm a kid, and I'm, come on. And I'm going, these Yankees, I mean, it's unbelievable. I went to so many Yankee Tiger games in 1961, getting to see Mickey Mantle and Maris and Skowron and Tony Kubek and Bobby Richardson and Clete Boyer and Hector Lopez and Maris and Mantle and Berra and Howard and Whitey Ford, and that, that was a pretty good group.
Right.
And the Tigers my Tigers won 101 games in 1961. Only twice since then have they ever won more games. Swing and a miss. Ackley's out of there, and the Tigers finished second, 8 games back.
How about that? Winning
and a great
101.
Yeah, they won 100. And when you're a kid and your team wins 101 games, you're pretty disappointed when you don't. You couldn't even see the Yankees. You couldn't even see the 61 Yankees. They were that good.
Right.
They were great.
And I think for me, we traveled, and I was a military kid, so I didn't really have a home like you had as far as that goes, and I was in Europe quite a bit.
Here's a ball jumping off the bat of Carp. Well tagged. Murphy looking up. Oh, baby, it's out of here. It's a 2-run home run for Mike Carp. His 10th of the season. Seager scores in front of him. Carp headed for the dish. And all of a sudden, the Mariners make it interesting again. They're back to within 1 run.
It's what we were talking about with Lewis. That's the 34th home run of the season he has given up. So for the Mariners, they just need to hang in there, stop the Rangers from scoring, because there are going to be opportunities. Look at that pitch. Pitch is on the inside corner and above the belt. And that goes back to what we were talking about earlier, Ken, when you said you had an opportunity to see Carp. Somebody that doesn't have the bat speed is not going to get to that pitch, and that's something that he's shown the ability to do, is to get to that pitch.
He's a good-looking player now. Another player of the future. And, of course, Seager scores in front of him. Another great prospect. Not much doubt about it. Here's the ball hit in the air by Kennedy. Drifting out into center is the shortstop. Andrews there, and he makes the catch. So a big 5th inning. A 2-run homer by Carp. The Mariners down by only 1.
Football going on, and 2 of the best teams in the Big Sky going at it. Montana hosting Eastern Washington, and the Eagles trail by 3 late in the 4th quarter. Bo Levi Mitchell trying to mount a comeback, but he's picked off by John Kangata, and the Grizzlies win 17-14. Eastern is now 0-3. Ken?
All right, thanks very much, Angie. A little college football. We've got soccer next door, and we've got a dandy going here at Safeco. 7-6. Mariners trailing the Rangers. Andrews leads off against Jeff Gray here in the 6th inning, and it's ball 1. Andrews, Hamilton, and Young. The Rangers have hit 3 homers, all solo shots back in the 3rd, and the Mariners now have a home run of their own, a 2-run homer by Mike Carp here in the bottom of the 5th. 1 ball, 1 strike. Talking about Mickey Mantle earlier, and you know, so many of us, like lots of fans here, grow up in Seattle now, become true Mariners fans. Rick Riz, their buddy, grew up in Chicago, a White Sox fan. Dave Niehaus grew up in southern Indiana, listening to the Cardinals on the radio. He was a big Cards fan. You were a Mickey Mantle fan, but didn't have that base city. No, and for me, so what I had the opportunity to do is to read and talk to my dad. Right. He was the one that introduced me to the game. And so that's where Mickey came along. And then as we were traveling around, I was able to watch some TV. And at that point, there's a shot to center. Saunders on the run, hauls it in. Elvis Andres is gone, and 1 out in the 6th inning. Well, we were able to watch some TV, and at that point, the Big Red Machine was going, and so they were on a lot, and that became a Johnny Bench fan after that. Johnny Bench fan. Yeah. To the bullpen, Cesar Jimenez, as Eric Wedge goes to the mound. Back in a moment. limited time, Jack's really big chicken sandwich combo is back for only $3.99 plus tax. By Moneyball, starring Brad Pitt, in theaters September 23rd, rated PG-13. And by Money Tree, looking for a loan with more time to repay? Apply for a Money Tree payday loan online at moneytreeinc.com. 7-6, the Mariners down by only one, and a new pitcher coming on here, the third of the afternoon.
It'll be the left-hander, Cesar Jimenez, will take over. I'm not sure if he's going to pitch just one batter or not. It's like Josh Lukey is getting loose in the Mariners' pen now. You have 4 right-handers hitting after Hamilton.
Fourth game for Jimenez, and he gets Hamilton. Hamilton, an infield single, a solo homer, and a 2-run single. So he's had himself a pretty good day. He's hitting .298, 23 homers, 91 RBIs at the moment. Of course, he originally got to the big leagues in 2007 with Cincinnati, and then 2008 to Texas, and well, American League MVP last season. He's a good one. What a swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's unfair to have a swing like that and then glide when you run. It's just unfair.
All that ability.
It's unbelievable.
Like Mickey Mantle?
Well, the Mick could do a few things. Yeah, the Mick. From both sides, he could swing it.
But to your point, eventually we moved out here, and that's when I became a Mariners fan, and it was Julio Cruz and Bruce Bochy and Jim Presley.
What a group that was.
Yeah, it was fun.
You went from the Big Red Machine to the early Mariners. Nothing wrong with that.
I didn't care. I got to go to the ballpark over at the Kingdome and watch the Mariners play. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
And then think of all the fans that are even here right now that grew up with Ken Griffey Jr. and Randy Johnson.
Swing and a miss. Cesar Jimenez comes out of the pen and does what he's supposed to do. He strikes out Josh Hamilton.
He stayed with off-speed pitches, not wanting to give Hamilton a fastball. He comes back. It looks like a slider. It's down in the dirt. Hamilton chases it.
So you were a Johnny Bench fan.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, I like the Reds just because I was able to see him on TV. And Johnny Bench wasn't a bad player. Joe Morgan was pretty good. I like Joe Morgan.
Tony Perez could play a bit.
Pete Rose.
Pete, yeah.
Concepcion.
Pete got some hits, I understand. Swing and a miss by Michael Young. 2 down, nobody on for the Rangers here in the 6th. They're up by a run.
It's just fun to watch, and you start thinking about it. And now there are young people. We've seen them on TV today with the fans and appreciating them. But these young people are going to grow up and they're going to get to watch Dustin Ackley. And he'll probably be their favorite player as Dustin moves on in his career here as a Mariner. And just keeps him going. There's Dustin.
Never stops, does it? Did you get to see Johnny Bench play in person?
Nope.
Really?
Nope. Just TV.
I broadcast Johnny Bench's last home run on Johnny Bench night at Riverfront Stadium. Well, I'll tell you, it was one of the.
What a thrill.
One of the great, and I didn't, I wish you were there now instead of me because I wasn't necessarily a great Reds fan. I like John a lot. He's a terrific guy. And there's a walk to Michael Young with 2 outs and nobody on here in the 6th inning. And they had a big night. I want to say it was 1985, and he hit. They sold out Riverfront Stadium. And John had, not been playing a lot. It was his last season, swan song, and it's fairly late in September, and they have the night, so he's going to catch the whole 9 yards, and he hits upper deck left field his last home run on Johnny Bench night. Doesn't come any better, and I'll remember it forever. I mean, it was a thrill to be there and see a great catcher. Great player like Johnny Bench be honored and come through and with all that drama. You would have liked it.
Oh, I would have loved it.
Adrian Beltre, the batter, 1 strike. Beltre, a home run in 3 at bats. Swing and a miss. A little zip on that one from Jimenez. 91 miles per hour. The left-hander is from Venezuela. 26-year-old. He's been in the Mariners organization since 2002. Pitched briefly in 2006, was up here, of course, in 2008 in 31 games. So this is his third time with the Mariners in the big leagues. This one is hit a ton, but it'll go foul. No balls, 2 strikes on Beltre. Yeah, if you're around long enough, you really get to see some games and players that, you know, they're memories, and as I like to say, you can't take them away. You have them and they're yours.
No, and I think again with all the fans and the good times and the bad times, you find these little things that you like and you just kind of hang on to them. I know when I first moved down here, I thought it was pretty neat that Ron Say is from this area, so I started watching the Dodgers because of Ron Say.
Yeah, Tacoma boy.
Yeah.
Those early years of the Mariners, when I look back now, I mean, they're some of the great players and seasons of my life. 1 and 2 is the count on Beltre. And I'm so comfortable here in Seattle. I mean, I almost think I'm sitting in the broadcast booth at the Kingdome, because Dave and I did that first game, and I was around the first 6 seasons, and of course have been back here over the years doing games for various teams. And to sit here, I feel like I was never gone.
Right.
That's how comfortable I feel with the Mariners, because the first big league game I ever broadcast was the Mariners. So, you know, it doesn't leave me. The fact that I left and went here and there, you know, the Mariners are in my blood probably more than anybody else, just because it's where I started. Here's a ground ball foul, and, you know, Rupert Jones, Danny Meyer and Bruce Bochy and the Cruiser, and Craig Reynolds and Mendoza and Bill Stein and Skip Jutzy and Bob Stinson and Lee Stanton and Leon Roberts and the lists, you know, and Bill Laxton, the left-handed pitcher, and Gary Wheelock, the right-hander. Of course, the tall Arkansan, Glenn Abbott. High fly off the bat of Beltre. And there is Ichiro. He's got it. And that'll do it. Nice job by Cesar Jimenez. Mariners come up down by only 1 run.
Mariners ultimate fan from Alaska, and I watch all of my games on Root Sports.
There you go. Congratulations, honored here, along with many fans on Fan Appreciation Day. There's no fan that isn't honored on Fan Appreciation Day, but some special honors given out before the game to some great Mariners fans. Here's Josh Bard leading off the 6th inning. This is quite a game we have going. The Mariners are trailing by 1 run, 7-6, facing Colby Lewis. And it's 2-0 on Bard. Lewis, lifetime, 2 games under 500, 36-38. Here's a swing and a miss. It's 2-1. In his career here at Safeco, Lewis is but 1-4 The Mariners would love to see him leave this game and be 1-5 lifetime here. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Bard. Rodriguez, the shortstop, on deck, and then Robinson here in the 6th inning.
And with that being said, we're starting to get some action in the Rangers bullpen. It looks like the veteran left-hander Darren Oliver cranking it up. 87 pitches now for Lewis, 60 of those for strikes.
3-2. So Lewis trying for his 13th win. He's never had 13 wins in the big leagues. And this his 30th start. Here's one belted to left. Hamilton will drift over. He's got it and one away. The 3rd annual Oktoberfest here at Safeco Field is set for Tuesday, September the 27th. Mark it on your calendar. It's coming up. The Mariners will be playing the A's, and your ticket includes a seat in the Oktoberfest section, a limited edition Mariners Stein, and get this, your first beverage at the pregame party in the pen taken care of. Tickets must be purchased, however, through mariners.com/Oktoberfest. Sounds like a great time. Tuesday, September 27th. 1 strike on Rodriguez. Came in defensively for Brendan Ryan, who left with an injury in the 3rd. Called out on strikes in the 4th inning. Here's one fouled back, and it's 0-2. Colby Lewis going all the way for the Rangers. These are big, big games for Texas. Big games. Now Chance Ruffin up in the Mariners pen. Mariners have used Vasquez, Gray, and Jimenez. That's strike 3 call. 2nd time in a row. Rodriguez is out looking, and 2 up, 2 down here in the 6th inning.
It looks like Lewis is going to his cut fastball a little bit more than he was earlier in the game. The 4-seam fastball that Carp hit out of the ballpark for a 2-run home run in the last inning. The last pitch was a cutter in on the hands of Rodriguez.
Here is Trayvon Robinson. He's grounded to short and struck out. 1 strike. Trayvon, an interesting player. I'd be interested to see how he progresses. You know, we haven't seen him a lot, but he's interesting to me because I'm not quite sure. You know, he hit 26 home runs in Albuquerque this season. And he hits the ball sharply to left center. Hamilton won't get to it. Boom, off the wall. And Robinson glides into second base with a 2-out 6th inning double. You know, I'm not sure how fast he is yet. You know, you don't know, is he a Coleman, Willie Wilson, Otis Nixon type, or is he more of a guy that's going to hit with some power who has good speed?
I think that's what it is, getting a chance to watch him. This is a 12 double for Trayvon. He has 2 home runs, 12 doubles for him. More than half of his hits have gone for extra bases. And again, to me, he's somebody that is interesting because he's a switch hitter, even though he hasn't been doing it for a long period of time. And he seems to be able to sting the ball. And I think as he gets an idea of what's going on up here, I think we might see a few more home runs from him. I don't know how many that's going to be, but he can run. We haven't seen him try to steal many bases.
That's my question.
That's why I don't think he's going to be that real burner type of guy. But he can steal some bases. As Ron Washington, looks like he's going to make a change.
So Colby Lewis will go 5 2/3 and will depart. And he cannot lose this game. He can still win it, or he can get a no decision. So the Rangers go to the pen, 6th inning, and they lead this contest 7-6.
ultimate Northwest Mariner fan from Idaho. I watch all my Mariner games on Root Sports. Go Ams!
Boy, that's the kind of enthusiasm we like from Mariners fans. 7-6, Texas leads. And Colby Lewis is gone. He goes 5 2/3, Mike.
94 pitches, 66 of them for strikes, 5 2/3, 8 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned. Just 1 walk in the game, 7 strikeouts. He is responsible for Trayvon Robinson, who was out at second base. And the interesting note, 23 of the 26 batters that he faced, he threw a first pitch strike to, just wasn't able to put people away today. The Mariners battling their way back into this game. And we'll take a look at the veteran Darren Oliver, the left-hander. A 2.22 ERA for Darren, 48 2/3 innings for him, 41 strikeouts to just 9 walks. He will be around the plate. He'll change speeds, not the power pitcher that he used to be. Opponent's average 237. He has a 5-5 record.
Man, I can't believe I'm sitting here in 2011 watching Darren Oliver pitch.
I played against him.
Seriously, I can't believe this is happening. Came up with the Texas Rangers in 1993. Went on to St. Louis, back to Texas, to Boston, Colorado, Florida, Houston, the Mets, the Angels for 3 seasons, and last year back to Texas. Here is Michael Saunders trying to pick up Robinson. Potential tying run at second base in the 6th inning. And it's ball 1. I remember sitting in Ranger skipper Johnny Oates' office
yes.
talking one day with him, with Oliver was going to pitch, start that day, and had a nice long conversation. That's with the late Johnny Oates, who was a former big league catcher, was a terrific guy. Unfortunately passed away way too young, but well, he was just, one of those managers that was fun to talk to. And back then in the mid 90s, it was even different than it is today.
Right.
You'd walk in a manager's office whenever you felt like it, and pull up a chair and say, "Hey, Ken, how you doing?" You sit down, talk to him 10 minutes, and away you go. Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Saunders. So that's how long Darren Oliver has been around.
Well, and back then Darren Oliver was 95, 96 miles an hour with his fastball.
He could blister it.
Right. Well, left-handed, can throw strikes. We mentioned only 9 walks on the season for him. There's a job for you.
Yep, you got the good arm. Keeps going. He jams Saunders. Check swing comebacker. On to first to Young, and that will do it. On to the 7th inning. The Rangers lead it 7-6.
For each home run hit by a Mariners player, Alaska Airlines donates 10,000 miles to our Make-A-Wish Home Runs for Wishes program. You can donate your own miles to Make-A-Wish at Alaska.com. Hey everybody, Angie Menting here at the Northwest Forge Sports Desk. As we mentioned, it's a busy Saturday at college football, and the Washington State Cougars on the road again this week in Southern California this afternoon, taking on San Diego State. Cougars led by 3 at halftime, and they get a big play in the third. Quarterback Marshall Lobosdahl finds Marquise Wilson, and he takes it 78 yards, tight roping along the sideline for a touchdown. Right now, Cougars lead it by 3. Ken?
All right, thank you, Angie. New pitcher, Mike, for the Mariners, the 4th of the afternoon, Chance Ruffin.
Chance Ruffin will take over. Good fastballs. Fastball will be 94, 95 miles an hour. Mixes in a slider with it. His numbers overall, a 3.75 ERA. Only 12 innings pitched for Chance. 12 strikeouts in the 12 innings that he has pitched. 7 walks.
Last time we saw Chance Ruffin, he worked an inning against the Royals last Sunday afternoon here. Outside with the hard one. 1 ball, 1 strike, facing Mike Napoli, then Nelson Cruz and David Murphy here in the 7th inning in a very tight ball game. That's a strike in the outside corner. The Rangers scored in the 2nd to make it 1-0. Then the Mariners sent 8 to the plate in the 2nd and took a 4-1 lead. Then the Rangers got 3 in the 3rd, 3 solo homers to tie it at 4. Texas scored 3 in the 4th to lead 7-4. And the Mariners came back with 2 in the 5th to cut the lead to 1. Out of play, 2-2 on Napoli, who's gotten a double in his 3 at-bats.
Right now, Ruffin working him away. Napoli, somebody, 26 home runs on the year. He can hurt you.
He has to reach for that one, but it's well punched into the gap in right center. Saunders will chase it down. Napoli goes into 2nd. He has his 2nd double. And like the double in the 2nd inning, it comes leading off a frame. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced nor retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. We took a little breaking ball, and you didn't think he'd be able to hit it that far.
Well, I think the main thing is he pitched him away the entire time, and Napoli, having one of those years, decided that's what he was. This is the way you want to pitch me. I'm going to go with it. And even though I think he was fooled a little bit on the pitch, he's strong. You can tell he's a big man. He's able to get the barrel to it and drive it into the gap out in right center field on the slider that was away from him.
Nelson Cruz, a single in 3 at-bats, and he's in the hole 0-2. Cruz, the DH today for Texas. Big player for them. You got Hamilton, Young, Beltre, Cruz, Napoli. I mean, these guys are big bangers, no doubt about it. There's the ball. You look at Cruz, you look at Hamilton, you look at Beltre. They've all missed more than a month this season. Skipper Ron Washington saying, you know, hey, if my guys were all healthy, I'd have 4 30 home run hitters this season, which hasn't happened very often.
They still make it. Their Cruz is at 28. Kinsler has 29. Napoli with 26. Beltre now with 26.
And not impossible, but they're kind of running out of time. 2-2 the count. And that makes it 3-2 on Nelson Cruz.
Chance felt like he had Cruz set up for the fastball inside. Again, pitches away from him and tried to run a fastball at 94 miles an hour on the inside corner and missed.
The Angels are down 5-1 as they bat in the 8th at Baltimore. Good pitch there. Cruz strikes out. First out in the Rangers' 7th inning.
Chance thinking Cruz was going to be aggressive, and he is. He chases a slider that is off the plate away. Now 3-2 count, did not give in to him and to serve up a fastball with the slider and ends up getting the strikeout.
So you know the Rangers are watching that board. 8th inning in Baltimore. 5-1 Orioles over the Angels. Ball 1 on David Murphy. So if you're in the Rangers dugout, you're going, man, we need more runs here. If we can win this one and Baltimore wins, we're up by 4.5 in the West with 11 to go. I like my chances 4.5 up with 11 to go.
Ken, they'll tell you they're not watching the scoreboard.
Yeah, right. Not paying any attention whatsoever. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count on Murphy. Gentry on deck. Murphy is the 8th hitter in the order. A fake by Ruffin. The Rangers have 7 runs on 12 hits. The Mariners 6 runs on 8 hits. The Rangers 3 home runs. The M's 1. That's inside. Gentry is due up. Andy Chavez has moved into the on deck circle for Texas. He played center field in the opening game of the series last night. This one popped up near the third base dugout. Seager and Bard are there. It's back in the second row, and a fan from Renton has a souvenir. There you go. That's what he does every time he gets the ball back. Chance goes through that. Snap those fingers. Whatever it takes, right?
Baseball players have all kinds of strange routines. If it's working, they'll just continue doing it.
Now the count is full on David Murphy. Let's watch him here. Wow.
A couple of snaps that time.
Yeah. Murphy with a wide open stance when he starts, comes straight away and sprays the ball into the crowd. Still 3-2. Ruffin is young. Just the other day he turned 23. Part of that Doug Fister deal with the Tigers. The ball hit to left down the line. Robinson may run out of room.
Oh,
ouch.
Came out with it.
Baby, he makes the catch. How about that? What a grab by Trayvon Robinson. He was going hard. Nice catch.
We've seen him go in the stands. He did it in Anaheim earlier when he was first called up, and this time he's not slowing down at all, knowing he's going to hit the wall. Great concentration from Robinson, knowing that the wall is coming up. You have the fans. You can see the glove. Great concentration from Trayvon to stay with it as he bangs into the wall.
I like that play. That's a big league play right there.
It is a big league play. It's somebody that wants to make a ball club next year, willing to go into the seats. That's the second time we've seen that from him. Then he turns around and goes back and makes sure the fans are okay.
Here's Andy Chavez. Pinch hitting here for Craig Gentry. Ball 1. Chavez had a couple of singles in 3 at-bats last night when the Rangers mustered only 4 hits. He's hitting right at 300. 5 homers, 26 RBIs, and that's a strike, 1-1. That was a nice play. I guess when you've grown up in L.A. in a not-so-nice neighborhood dodging bullets, you're not going to worry too much about running into that low wall there.
He didn't look like he gave it a thought.
No. A lot of others would kind of tiptoe at that point and reach in if they got there in time, but not at full speed like Robinson did. Napoli out at second base. 2 down here in the 7th. The Mariners trailing Texas 7-6. Ruffin's pitch hit to Rodriguez. That's a ground hugger, and the throw over in time. 7th inning stretch time at the ballpark. The Mariners will come up in the 7th down by 1 run. The Mariners' 7th inning stretch is brought to you by Washington's Lottery. Buy your Hometown Heroes raffle ticket from Washington's Lottery. On sale now. You play, veterans win. New center fielder here, staying in the game. Endy Chavez after batting for the starting center fielder, Craig Gentry. Well, it's the top of the Mariners' order here in the 7th. Let's see if they can make some noise against the 40-year-old lefty. The curve, it's a strike on Ichiro, who is singled twice in 3 at-bats, scored a run, driven home 2. Nice to get him on board here. Beltray at third is in on the grass. The outfield in left and center shallow, and they play Ichiro the opposite way. A lot of clubs do that. You have a big gap out in right center. Ichiro needs to hit a one-hopper to the Dave My Oh My sign and end up at third base maybe. This one is a bit tight. And it's 2-1. After Ichiro, it'll be Seager who has a couple of hits, and then Ackley, who's overdue. And then Karp, who has a 2-run homer this afternoon.
The Rangers have some power arms out in their bullpen. But with 5 left-handed hitters scheduled to hit here in the 7th inning for the Mariners, Oliver will stay in the game.
This one grounded behind third base coach Jeff Datz. One of the issues that Rangers skipper Ron Washington has been questioned about and is confronting is how does he keep his bullpen sharp, especially the guys that you use in a game like this where you're protecting a 1-run lead. He has a lot of games where they have leads that are well beyond 1 run. This one is out of play. You know, his answer was, somebody hasn't pitched in a while. I can't put him in a simulated game because I might need him tonight. And he said mostly they need to keep themselves sharp. They need to know what they need to do to be sharp and be ready when I need them. And he said if I get a week of lopsided games, it's just hard to get everybody in their typical role. Well, Ichiro strikes out leading off here in the 7th inning, and you can understand the dilemma that Washington faces.
Well, you can, because if you go out and a guy hasn't pitched, so you're going to put him in the game to give him some work, and then the very next day you need that guy, but he's shut down because maybe he threw 30 pitches the day before. It's a tough decision to make, but you have to find a way to keep them sharp, otherwise they won't be effective when they come in.
That's what managing is all about, right? That's the word. Manage. Slow curve to Kyle Seager, and it's strike 1. Seager flied out in the first, then doubled into in the second, singled and scored on Karp's homer in the 5th. This ball is fouled away. 2 strikes. I like Seager's approach at the plate. It looks to me like, he's stays within himself. Looks like he's got a good idea. Looks like he's got a chance.
He doesn't try to do too much at the plate. He hits line drives. He knows that's what he does. If you make a mistake, he can pop one on you. But for the most part, he is going to just spray the ball around as he hits this one out to left field. Hamilton going towards the stands and will not have a play.
Runs out of room. That's the style, isn't it? Sunglasses upside down. You gotta like that. On a cloudy late afternoon. That's
cool.
That's style,
that's
right?
Cool.
That's style.
Yeah, I think so.
That's style.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta love it. Seager up there, 2 strikes. The Mariners trying to get something going in the 7th, trailing the Rangers by just 1 run. The off-speed breaking pitch. Seager's out of there. Well, tomorrow, hope you'll bring the whole family out because we're going to celebrate Kids Appreciation Day. Final game of the series with the Rangers. All youngsters 14 and under tomorrow here at Safeco are going to take home a Moose poster courtesy of Ivar's in Kid Valley. Plus, youngsters and their families come out early. It's going to be a parade at 11:30. Here's Dustin Ackley out of play, 1 strike. That's right. You youngsters and your family are going to be invited down on the field at 11:30 to parade here at Safeco. That's always fun to get down on the big league field. There's going to be a whole host of kids prizes given away throughout the game. 1 ball, 1 strike. Autographed jerseys, a 32-inch TV. I'd like to be 5 years old and win a 32-inch TV. $250 team store gift card, an electric guitar, and a whole lot more. Out of play, 1 and 2. So for tickets, the easy way for tomorrow's game, simply visit Mariners.com. That's a 1:10 start. Felix Hernandez, that's right. Not only have Kids Appreciation Day, but Felix pitches and Matt Harrison goes for Texas. That'll be a lot of fun.
We'll have the King's Court going tomorrow.
Yeah, they'll all be out here. The King to the mound. Ackley takes strike 3 call. So Darren Oliver strikes out the side in the 7th inning. On to the 8th. We have ourselves a 1-run ball game. Let's take a look at our Geico quote. Some Rockets. That's some noise, folks. Andrews, Hamilton, Beltre. Solo shots in the 3rd inning. The Rangers making a big statement. Now we get another pitcher for the Mariners. Pitcher number 5, Jamie Wright.
The veteran Jamie Wright, right-hander, will take over for the Mariners. His number is a 3.36 ERA, 64 1/3 innings for Jamie. He has a 2-3 record, trying to keep the game where it's at. Mariners have been fighting and clawing their way back in this one, down a run, 7-6.
Leadoff man Ian Kinsler, 0 for 3 plus a walk, showing bunt, takes a strike. Has not gotten the ball out of the infield in this game. Andrews on deck, then Hamilton. That's a strike, 0-2. Kinsler a couple of seasons ago, 2009, had 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases. That's happened only 11 times in American League history. A breaking pitch, not quite. Good pitch, 0-2 though. You're not going to probably do much with it if you offer, and it's 1-2.
Well, it's really, for Jamie, the veteran, he knows what he's doing out there, and I think after a couple of pitches down, he went a little bit lower in the strike zone, trying to get Kinsler to chase it. Ken, you're right. If he ended up swinging at it, I'm not sure that he would have been able to hit it hard anywhere, and that's the idea.
So now it's 2-2, and Jamie has to throw a little better pitch.
Well, He's been consistently down with all 4 pitches. If he stays there, maybe get a ground ball. There you go.
So Kinsler strikes out. Time now for our CenturyLink high-speed pitch. We got some mileage out there with Darren Oliver at 89 and Jamie Wright at 91.
That's pretty good. Again, Oliver at one point was 95, 96. Jamie used to rush it up there as well.
Jamie, of course, is 36 years of age now. Darren Oliver is 40. Slow curve is too low, ball 1.
Elvis Andrus, important to keep him off the bases. He's hit a home run, had a base hit in the 4th and scored.
His home run only his 5th of the season. He has an 11-game hitting streak. Hits this one well. The park will hold it. Saunders catches it there at the edge of the track. So that one carried a long way.
And for Saunders, playing shallow, take a look at the swing by Andrus. Pitch in the middle of the plate. You're right, he hit it a long way, but Saunders, I think, has great range in the outfield.
Yeah, he wasn't concerned at all. He just, you know, was an easy journey for him.
Yeah.
A lot like Gutierrez when we see him out there when he's healthy. 1 ball the count. Josh Hamilton, the hitter. Infield single, solo homer, 2-run single, and he went down swinging his last time up. It's the 8th inning. Bases empty, 2 outs. Look at that. This lad can swing it. Ichiro in the corner. Hamilton takes the turn at second, and he'll hold on. I gotta say, oh my. Oh, he can. I haven't seen him a lot in person. He can flat out swing it.
Had to deal with some injuries this year. Won a batting title last year. You can see that pitch is down out of the strike zone. He just hits a bullet down into the corner. Ichiro's able to get it in quickly and hold him to a double.
He's got one of those sweet swings like Darryl Strawberry used to have. Reminds you a lot of Strawberry, the way he just seemingly ripped anything, and he'd take whatever you gave him.
And it's a smooth looking swing, an effortless looking swing, and the ball jumps off his bat.
Just awesome. A 2-out double by Hamilton, and here's Michael Young. A walk, a single, and a sacrifice fly. He's 1 for 2. His RBI with that sacrifice fly in the 4th, giving him 102 RBIs. So he's now at 198 hits. University of California, Santa Barbara product, Michael Young. There's a ball, and it's 2-0 as he faces Jamie Wright, who's been in the big league since 1996 when he came up with the Colorado Rockies. Now they're going to just walk Young and pitch to Beltre after the count goes to 2-0. So there's the 3rd one out of the strike zone.
And I don't blame him. Michael Young hitting .333 as he steps in at the plate, hitting .379 with men in scoring position this year.
It's not exactly like you get a big drop down, however, when Beltre comes up. He's hit a home run. He's hit safely in 20 of his last 21 games. And he's been playing with a bad hamstring. It's a shame he hasn't been healthy. Who knows what he would have done.
And oh, by the way, he's hit 6 home runs in the last 11 games.
Yeah. Oh, my.
One of those home runs coming back in the 3rd inning.
So Hamilton at second, Young at first, 2 down, Rangers 8th. They lead 7-6. Ball 1 to Beltre.
Right-hander Adams, left-hander is Gonzalez. It looks like they will take over for Oliver.
Two 2-0 on Adrian Beltre. Of course, played here with the Mariners from 2005 through 2009. Last year with Boston. So he's got back-to-back years with real good ball clubs with the Red Sox and now the Rangers. 3-0. Still look back at that year Beltre had with the Dodgers in 04. 48 homers, 121 RBIs.
One of the greatest years ever for a third baseman.
Oh, big time. That's a strike. Good enough on 3-0, and it's 3-1 on Beltre. Mike Napoli is on deck, and he's already ripped a couple of doubles in this game. The hit total for the Rangers, by the way, is up to 13 as opposed to the Mariners 8. Wright's pitch. Ooh. 3-1. That was a nice nasty pitch. 3-1.
Yeah, threw him a slider. Beltre being aggressive in a hitter's count, thinking he was going to get a fastball, but it's a slider off the plate away, and Beltre chases it.
So now Jamie Wright works 3-2. The runners will be on their way. Hamilton and Young. Here's the pitch. Another breaking ball, tap foul, fair ball. He's tagged. He's out. He's out. Ron Washington comes racing out of the dugout. Not happy with that Brian Gorman call. And of course, neither is Beltre. The Rangers are gone.
There to win 56-7. Ken?
Okay, thank you very much, Angie. Appreciate the updates on those gridiron scores. Well, the Mariners in this contest have used 5 pitchers. Now we're going to see the 4th Texas pitcher to work against the Mariners in the 8th, veteran Michael Gonzalez. Leading off, Mike Karp hit a 2-run homer in the 5th to get the Mariners back to within 1, and he looks at a strike. Gonzalez picked up on the last day of August from the Baltimore Orioles, so he's eligible for postseason play with Texas. Karp waves at it, and he's in the hole 0-2.
Starts Mike off with a couple of sliders. I don't think Mike was happy with the first pitch that was called to strike by home plate umpire Brian Gorman. Looked like the slider was off the plate away and put him in a hole and chased the last one.
Gonzalez, a 33-year-old, comes in with a fastball upstairs, 1-2. He's pitched in the big leagues with the Pirates, the Braves, the Orioles, and now the Rangers.
A unique windup when he gets started. Bouncing around on the mound. Has a good arm. 94 miles an hour on that fastball. His slider has been 85.
For Gonzalez, this is his 5th game with Texas. 5.79 ERA in those first 4 games. His 54th game of the season. He gets Karp on a breaking pitch. Well, the final out in the Rangers' 8th inning, a little bouncer in front of the dish.
Take a look at the swing by Beltre. He fouls it off. Josh Bard, the catcher, comes out immediately. The umpire calls it a fair ball. Adrian thinks it's a foul ball. Napoli, who was on deck, thought it was a foul ball. Ron Washington came out and thought it was a foul ball. And to me, from that angle, it looked like maybe they were right.
Certainly looks like a foul ball from that angle we had. Although I must say, from the naked eye at the time, I felt that it might have been in front of the plate.
Well, the lesson here is make the play and then worry about it after, which is what Josh Bard does, and they ended up getting the out.
Now the skipper, Ron Washington, coming out. Gonzalez gets carp. Now you've got Adam Kennedy coming up, and Michael Gonzalez's work is done. Fan Appreciation Day here at the park. Jim Lippert, Safeco Field Santa from Mount Vernon. Oh, what a job he does. He's something special, isn't he? Oh my gosh, look at that.
Has his glove.
Yeah, he's ready to go. Way to go, Santa. There you go. That group. Matt Bixie, Sean Howard, Austin Humphreys, Nathan Young, they wanted to get those rally fries.
And they did.
Yeah. And the youngster, I remember him early in the year, Jonah Duval, the 12-year-old from Snoqualmie, the Thriller Kid. He put on a show. He's a beauty. Way to go, Jonah. He's an award winner on Fan Appreciation Day 2011 here at Safeco Field. A lot of us wish we could move like that. What a show. Well, Kennedy was due up. Willie Mo Pena on deck, so they make the change from the lefty to the right-hander, Mike Adams. And the first pitch is a strike to Willie Mo, who has plenty of power. And this is a spot, obviously, where you'd like a home run. Willie Mo.
And a tough customer with Adams on the mound. Opponent's average just .203. 20 strikeouts in the 19 innings that he has worked.
Pena hitting .220. He spanks one in the hole. Andrews, long throw now, and it is in time on a bang play. Boy, that was close. The skipper, Eric Wedge, kind of moving from the rail, and then decides, well, okay, I'll just stay where I am.
See the first baseman reaching out, Michael Young. And again, Ken, I think it's a good call. It's close, but I think that the umpire, the first base umpire.
Yeah, Dan Bellino, he got it right.
I think he did.
Well, you wouldn't want to have to make calls like that all day long. That's a tough call to make. And he got it right. So 2 down here in the Mariners' 8th inning. And now Bard is due, and Miguel Olivo is going to pinch hit. Again, you've got an opportunity here to tie it with one swing of the bat. Miguel leads the club with 18 home runs and has driven in 60.
And he's had success pinch hitting this year, 3 for 3, including a home run.
Mike Adams on the mound for Texas, their fourth pitcher, and there's a strike. Adams in his 21st game with Texas, his 49th of the season.
Brandon Lee ready to go if needed.
Here's the pitch, and it's just outside, 1-1. Adams was with San Diego, came in a deal on the last day of July. 33-year-old right-hander Mike Adams. Pitched with the Brewers before pitching with the Padres. Hard breaking ball, 2 balls and a strike. First base umpire Dan Bellino says no, he didn't swing. Now the roof is beginning to extend over the playing field, closing here at the ballpark. The teams practiced before the game with the roof closed, and just before the game they opened the roof. 64 degrees at game time. We had a little blue sky at game time. A little bit of heavy cloud cover moving in now from the west. 7-6, Mariners trail, bottom of the 8th. Olivo skies it right center. Kinsler out, Chavez in, Kinsler the second baseman, and the Mariners are gone. On to the 9th, 7-6 Texas. The Rangers up by 1. They have 13 hits. They've stranded 10. The Mariners have left only 3. 3 of the 4 home runs hit by the Rangers. Carp a 2-run shot in the 5th inning when the Mariners were down 7-4 to get them back to within 2. 5 Mariners pitchers, 4 Rangers pitchers in this game. So we've seen a little bit of everything. The Rangers will come up in the 9th. And the Mariners hoping that they can hold Texas and have some big explosions in the bottom of the 9th and get themselves a victory, if not at least get it to extra innings.
And it looks like they'll have to do it against the Rangers closer, Neftali Feliz, getting loose in the Rangers pen. So the guys will have to turn it up a notch because he will be somewhere in the mid to upper 90s. There's Feliz.
Mike Napoli leading off. He's doubled twice in 4 at bats, facing Jamie Wright, who pitched the 8th. That's a strike, 1-1. Fascinating to watch this roof close as the game is being played. It changes the atmosphere dramatically. Outfield deep to left on Napoli. There's a breaking pitch in there, 1-2. It's been a fun afternoon and moving into the early evening here on Fan Appreciation Day at the ballpark. The ex-Angel takes a cut, hits a little tapper. Seager's got to hurry. Bare hands, can't make the play. That was going to be do or die, and it's a base hit. That ball just wasn't hit very sharply. Very difficult play.
And Napoli runs well. So Kyle deciding he's going to go with the barehanded play. It looks like it goes off his pinky. And you're right, it would have been a do or die play. It's a decision you have to make as you're coming in. He can tell where the runner is at. And I think if he tried to glove it, I doubt he would have been able to throw Napoli out at first.
Seager is really a second baseman. That's what he played in college at North Carolina. So he's learning his way at third. Here's Nelson Cruz. That one is low. And they are very different positions, certainly second base and third base.
They are. But Kyle has surprised me. I think he's been above average defender at third when he's had the opportunity to play. He has a strong enough arm. More of a reaction position when you're out at second in the middle of the diamond. You have more time. Move your feet and get a better hop and some things at third. A lot of times, the only thing you can do is put your chest in front of it and hope for the best. And he's willing to do that.
2-0 the count on Cruz, the DH. Vasquez, Gray, Jimenez, Ruffin, and Wright have all pitched for Eric Wedge. Swing and a miss on that bender, and it's 2-1.
Jamie has consistently gone to his slider when he has been behind in the count, and so far it's been effective against the Rangers hitters. They're aggressive hitters. They like to hit the fastball, and he just has not given in to him yet, and it's served him well.
Cruz has one of the Rangers' 14 hits. This one up the middle. Rodriguez flips back to Ackley to get the force out. A dazzling play by Luis Rodriguez, and Napoli is cut down for the first out in the Texas ninth.
You can see Rodriguez going to flip it with his glove. It's like a no-look pass in basketball. He didn't look until after the ball was out of his glove, and Dustin trying to be quick and make the turn. I doubt they would have been able to get Cruz. He runs well, although right now he's favoring his leg, and he may have been able to turn it if he gets the handle. Who knows? But there'll be a pinch runner. Herman will come out and pinch run for Cruz.
So a runner at first with one out.
Esteban Herman.
There he is at first base. Herman in the DH's spot. This is David Murphy. Walked and scored in the fourth, singled in the fifth, 1 for 3. And he takes the ball. Well, the roof is within a foot or two of being closed now. There you go. Kind of like watching the sunset, isn't it? Not quite as dramatic, but Mariners trailing by a run. Here's a ground ball to Ackley. Over to Rodriguez. That's one on the cup. It's a double play. So the Rangers are gone. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. Rodriguez, Robinson, and Saunders due up. Online shop of the Seattle Mariners at mariners.com. This is where you can browse the largest online selection of authentic team gear, including official caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and a whole lot more. Be sure to get your team gear straight from the source. Visit the mariners.com shop today.
Neftali Feliz taking over for the Rangers. A hard-throwing closer. His fastball again will be in the mid to upper 90s. Will use a slider at times. His numbers: 26 saves on the season, ERA just over 3, 56 in the third innings, 45 strikeouts. Opponent's average 199. You look at Luis Rodriguez in yesterday's game, 12th inning, walk-off home run.
It'll be nice to repeat that kind of drama here.
We'll leave things off here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Eric Wedge, I'd certainly like to see that again. I think he would love it if Rodriguez could find a way to get on base.
Yeah, just get on against Feliz. Swing and a miss.
There you go, 98 miles an hour on the first fastball.
Feliz has been pretty good here at this ballpark. He's pitched 7 times here at Safeco. The Mariners do not have a hit against him. 6 1/3 innings. The Mariners are 0 for 19 here at this park against Neftali Feliz. They have gotten a walk, though. 1 walk in those 7 games he's pitched here.
You can see the 4 saves in those 7 games. And last fastball again, 99 miles an hour.
I don't want to dampen your hope, folks, but at least we know what we're up against. Make it that more exciting when the Mariners do something. There's the ball. So it's 1 ball, 2 strikes on Rodriguez. On deck, you have Trayvon Robinson. It's the bottom of the 9th inning. A long ball would be delightful. Just to get a base runner would be a thrill. Here's the pitch. Boy, he's nasty. There's 1 strikeout. Now the Mariners have struck out 12 times in this contest, so that's kind of been a problem on this homestand.
It has been an issue on the homestand. The strikeouts have been coming in the double-digit fashion. As you take a look at it, 98 miles an hour, middle of the plate. Rodriguez can't catch up to it. It'll be up to Trayvon Robinson. Robinson with a double. He had a double his last time up, 1 for 3 in the game.
So Feliz, only 23 years of age. What a future he has. Outside with the first pitch to Robinson, who's doubled in 3 tries. Feliz from the Dominican Republic. Michael Saunders on deck. Can the Mariners do something? Check swing. High, 2-0. Well, you get Robinson on, and you got a little speed. Things might be able to happen. But Feliz, a tough customer. That's a strike, 2-1. So both teams now have used 5 pitchers in this game. 7-6, 13 runs, 22 hits in the game. Remember, there hasn't been a run scored since the 5th inning when Carp hit a 2-run homer to get the Mariners back within 1. Robinson looks at that and says, man, that baby got up and by me in a hurry.
99 miles an hour on that last fastball. What you're seeing is 2 quality bullpens going at it. When you take a look at Robinson's swing, clearly the pitches by him at 99 miles an hour.
So I didn't see anybody like that at Albuquerque this season.
Just try to quiet the body down and let your hands work. So many times when you have somebody throwing as hard as Feliz, you try to get out there as quickly as you can by using your body, and it slows you down.
And a rip there, a pitch that he could extend on a little bit, and it's 2-2.
And you can see the Trayvon with that. No stride at all, just trying to find a way to put the ball in play. You take a look at it, it's a good idea. It's about the best chance that you're going to have.
The count is 2-2. The base is empty, 1 out. Mariners batting in the 9th. They trail 7-6. Big bounder. Kinsler has it. And on to Young, and it's 2 up and 2 down. The last hope. Michael Saunders due up. He's being called back. And we'll get a pinch hitter. Alex Liddy.
So Eric Wedge trying to get a run in a hurry, sending Liddy up there. Had a great year in AAA. Sending him up there. Hopefully he can catch up to a fastball, hit a ball out of here, and tie the game up.
So Liddy has a chance here. He's had 8 big league at bats. Has 1 hit, a double. He has struck out 5 of the 8 times he's been to the plate. Of course, he is the youngster who was born and raised in Italy, the only player ever born and raised in Italy to reach the big leagues, and the first Italian-born player to be in the big leagues since Rino Bertoia. Just outside a ball. He had a big year, Mike, at Tacoma.
30 home runs, 104 RBIs. And I think in this situation, Eric Wedge knows that Feliz is out there pumping fastballs in there, and it's a good one at 98, 99 miles an hour. Give Liddy a chance to see if he can catch up to one.
2-0. Liddy, number 16. Ironically, that's the number that Rino Bertoia wore when he was with Detroit, then Minnesota, and with Detroit. And as a Tiger, Rino Bertoia, who was a mid-50s bonus baby, wore number 16. I don't believe there's a real direct connection, and there's no connection there. 2 balls and 1 strike. So the last hope is the rookie Alex Liddy facing Neftali Feliz, and tough customer.
Well, Alex ended up getting himself in a 2-0 count. It was a fastball away from him on the plate, but away, and he turned it loose. That's why he's up there. Get your hacks in. The last pitch, 99 miles an hour.
You might as well swing, because it's not pretty to stand up there looking. You can't hit it unless you swing.
Well, you can see the velocity.
Two on Liddy. Bases empty, 2 outs. And now it's 3-2.
Feliz on that last fastball looked like he tried to get it up to 100 miles an hour, overthrowing it. Missed badly off the plate. Ichiro waiting on deck. Ichiro, couple of hits in the game, 2 for 4, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts for Ichiro.
This crowd hoping that Alex Liddy on Fan Appreciation Day can deliver a hit, maybe even a long one to tie it. The 3-2 pitch. He swings and misses, so that's how it ends. Feliz picks up his 27th save, and the Rangers hold on to get a very big, for them, 7-6 victory.
Anthony Vasquez struggling today. Eric Wedge deciding to pull him early in the game. 3+ innings for Anthony. Gives up 5 runs, all of them earned. And then the bullpen takes over. They pitched well in the game, but the Texas Rangers, again, the power of the Rangers, hitting 3 home runs in the game, scoring 7 runs. The Mariners battled their way back to make it a ball game, but just couldn't get anything going offensively after the 5th.
7-6 is the final. Texas wins it. The series even at 1 apiece, and a lot more coming up when things return here to Safeco Field, so stay with us.